What's up, everyone? Good afternoon. How you doing, guys? What's going on? We're back at it. It's been a hot minute, right? Mrs. Spur loves my echo effect. I can tell. All right, we got a lot going on. I've got a lot going on here, so I'm trying to get everything situated and right because we're streaming on Twitch too. So let's get the music taken care of and we'll get started with this. Yeah, we're on X, we're on Twitch, and of course we're on YouTube. And it looks like everything is okay and working. Like, I'm really, honestly, kind of surprised I pulled this off. There you go. All right, we're back. It's magnificent. We've got so much stuff going on. My OBS is like a hot mess right now because we've got like multi-chat. I'm able to see everything in OBS now. Everything in OBS. I can see multi-chats across everyone. Like I'm looking at Twitch and YouTube right now. X can't twat. They can't chat with us. They can't chat. They're kind of left out for the moment. So we'll get it straightened out here in a second as far as them. Let me catch up real quick with the chat. Josie, what's up over on Twitch? Josie's watching on Twitch. OBS is a pain in the butt. I'm glad you figured it out. Yeah, it's the multi-streaming thing is a lot. Like, it's a whole lot going on, and especially like trying to aggregate everything together in one place where I can see it. Like, that's the biggest problem. I could aggregate X into this as well too, but we haven't gone that far yet. I haven't put the X chat in. We may let them chat it, so we may let X talk and participate at some point, but I don't know. There's not much going on X, so it doesn't really matter. But all right, let's see who all's in here. We got Brandon Peck, what's up, dude? Coke Zero, what's going on? Nick from Vegas says holy echo. Yes, that's my new echo effect. I like doing this stuff. I like working on all the different things I can do. Hope you had a nice Christmas. Yeah, we did. Everyone's better now. Like, I think all my kids are better now. I don't think Mrs. Spur's a little under the weather now, but I think everyone else is good. So hopefully so. Everyone's been really sick. NWF, what's up, dude? I was trying to get used to this chat. It's different than it's different than YouTube, that's for sure. Can I put this somewhere? Like, I need to put this somewhere else other than like oh, it won't let me put it where I want to put it. Like, I'd rather have these side by side. I don't really need the visual. We'll just stick it there. We'll just do it. We'll put it there. We'll do it live. I need that. I need to put that in. Maverick, what's up, dude? Hope you had a great Christmas. Yeah, we did. I hope you guys had a great Christmas too, as well. All right, let's get cams up and running. That's all good. We're getting this figured out. Man, if I could just put this one chat somewhere else. Like, I just need, like, it's the multi-chat. Like, I've got the YouTube chat, which I really don't need. I'd rather have the multi-chat as opposed to the YouTube chat. Honestly, like, I can put it up above, but then I can't see Jack. Like, I don't understand why I can't see anything when I stick it there. It doesn't like it. But I can put it over here and it's okay. I just have to cover everything up. Makes no sense. It makes zero sense. Yeah, that's totally not going to work. Alright, guys, just bear with me here while I get this stupid chat figured out. Yeah, this is it's a plugin for OBS. And it's pretty cool. If I could just get it laid out the way I want it to see everything, then that would be cool. But otherwise, it's a little bit of a pain. All right, that's good enough for now. Okay, guys, we're back at it. We're looking at the AGS again. And we're going to be running this bad boy. This is the 345, runs from, I think this guy runs from Norris Yard in Birmingham down to, I think New Orleans, actually. It's based on a real train. In fact, I went in YouTube and I watched a video of this train and I notated every car that it had as far as what the car type was. Like, was it a 3-bay? Was it plastic pellet? Was it a tank car? center beam, bulkhead, and pretty much recreated this train as close as I could to real life. So, and the cool thing about this train is that it's got like one boxcar. Everything else is either plastic pellets or tank cars, so it's pretty cool. Mar, what's up, man? Says, how was everyone's Christmas? It was good here, dude. Wasn't bad. Everyone's on the mend and getting better, and I think we're good here now. At least I hope so. All right, let's get this guy, let's get him cranked up. There we go. Sweet. Yeah, we'll get him started. Also, for you guys that are members, I did add the new emojis. We got 3 more emojis in there. Mrs. Spur will go through and showcase our new emojis. We'll see how they translate. They may not translate that well. They're all done by me, so they're going to be kind of hit and miss, honestly. There you go. We got the big W. Yeah, we got the big W, the GGs and the dubs. So there you go. GGs and dubs in the house. Nice. Squeakies, what's up, dude? How you doing? Yes, that's all our emojis now. So we get 2 more members, we get 2 more emojis. They like, it's like a carrot on a stick, right? They're like, you get more emojis if you get more members. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do with the next one. It's in the 40s here for Christmas. Yeah, it's been really nice here too, dude. It's going to be like close to 70 tomorrow. I work Christmas and Boxing Day, unfortunately, but hey, at least the paycheck's going to be nice, right? Yeah, I worked every Christmas that I ever worked for the railroad. I always worked on Christmas and Thanksgiving. Like, it was a guarantee. It's a guarantee. Everyone laid off sick. I didn't lay off sick. I stayed available. I laid off sick before and after, but but I stayed available for Christmas. I was like, you know what? You guys can get me for Christmas, but I'm going to mark off the rest of the time, so that's what I did. And WF says it's cold where you're at. How cold is it, dude? Paul says it's going to be some great background noise while I'm running down to Fitz. Awesome, dude. Glad to have you, dude. Paul R. Have you been in here before, Paul? Maybe you have. I like some of these names I recognize, and then some I don't. Let's see. Let me. Quickie said he's avoiding work. All right, let's go ahead and hop in our train. Got called for the Z-Man himself on Christmas. Nice. Was it at least a good trip? Did you have the railroad to yourself? Sometimes that happens. You know, sometimes on the holidays when you run a train, you get the railroad to yourself. It varies, right? All right, so this is our guy. We're on the AGS. This is a 345. He's Birmingham to Nolans. He's got a typical Gulf Coast train too. He's got tons of plastic pellet hoppers and tank cars. So I'd imagine most of this stuff is probably empty going back towards like Houston and that way towards the chemical Gulf, right? This person says, I recognize Paul. I've seen him pop in. He says he lurks in here. I totally get that, dude. I totally get that. I'm just glad to have you in here. So quick overview of the yard for those of you who don't watch it or look at it. Man, I can't get it together today for some reason. I am so out of whack today. I'm just not, I'm not with it. I'm coming off the whole Christmas thing. So this is a yard. Pretty impressive. I want to say it's pretty close to dead on. I don't know much about this yard in real life, but I would have, like, it looks pretty legit to me, honestly. Like, the bowl is pretty impressive. I don't know how big of a bowl they have. Good afternoon, Spur. Love the consist in the NS and CPKC SC78 and UP Loco together. Some good power. This train. You're right. Yeah, this is based on a real train that I saw on YouTube. The general makeup of the train is based on the YouTube train. The power is based on another train that I saw. So it's kind of a mix of a couple, but it seemed like everything that I saw videos of running like between Birmingham and New Orleans and Meridian down that way, it had a lot of UP and KC power. So it doesn't seem like it's too out of the ordinary. And this is our train. Not too bad. Like I said, mostly plastic pellet hoppers and tanks. Got some pretty big cuts in it. About 9,000 feet too. It's pretty. It's a pretty decent sized train. All right, let's hop in it. let's get ready to go. Let's pull out of here, guys. Maverick says his Christmas Day trip on the railroad was crap. He waited for 3 hours for your CSX bulletins because the company didn't change the toner and the printer got stopped. Your train got delayed 3 hours for toner, bro. Really? That is a bad day. Let's draw a little air down. We'll draw the air down really good on this thing. There we go. Let's get the handbrakes released. I've kind of noticed some wonkiness with the air brakes. Like when I load a train in, like I'd be willing to bet the brakes aren't even. Yeah, they are set up good. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Zero clue what I'm talking about. I've gotten in before and like the train will have 6 pounds taken. You know, it'll be drawn down 6 pounds. But if you look at the graph, it's like it doesn't have any air under it. I don't know. Today it does. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys run into that too. ZFG, what's up, dude? Maverick did have a nice rebuilt AC 4400 though. And a Chessie Heritage unit for your power. Both super clean. That's nice. At least you had some good power. All right, let's get our switches real fast before we get out of here. It's cool they have hand throw switches with the indicators on them, so that's kind of nice. A little bit different. That guy there. There we go. We should be good the rest of the way. Have to get a light there. We'll have to talk to Otto. Get us a light. Let's get our window open here. Now says, hi, Mrs. Spur. Hope you're doing well and hope you had a good Christmas. Yeah, we did. We had a good Christmas. Like I said, everyone's back on the mend. You know, I'd made a post a while back. My middle daughter had been in the hospital. She was in the hospital for 24 hours with a severe headache and vomiting. Whatever this crazy ass bug is, it's going around. It's like, just, I don't know about you guys, but where I live, there's this bug going around and it is absolutely wrecking people. Like, and it's not COVID. It's every COVID test has come back negative for everyone. But like the doctor told us last week that she had seen more cases of walking pneumonia in kids in the last month than she had ever seen. I think probably in her entire career. Yeah. So I don't know what and it presents so differently with every person. Like, you know, like my one daughter had severe headache and vomiting. Another daughter just had vomiting. My oldest daughter had vomiting as well too, and a high fever. Like, everyone is different. It's weird. Paul says, I noticed when you spawn in trains and use the auto air brake setup function, the aux reservoirs aren't fully charged, which leads to funky behavior. Yeah, that could be it. That absolutely could be it. All right, let's go. We need to talk to Otto. What is his 56 tone 802? Yeah, 56 803. 56 tone 803. Okay. And 56. Josh, what's up, dude? This is how your day. My day's going good, dude. It's going really well so far. It's a little bit like, I started out a little bit overwhelmed because we're streaming to X, YouTube, and Twitch, and I completely changed up my OBS. So I've got like 50 bazillion different windows on OBS now. I've got an activity feed. I've got a live chat feed that aggregates everything together. Then I had the multi-stream feed that tells me all the streams that I have running and what they're doing. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. I was like, holy crap, that's a lot of stuff on my screen now. And it's not the biggest monitor. It's kind of a small monitor. We'll have to work on that. Like, a lot to keep up with. So yeah, we're getting there. Okay, let's DMTF 803 here. Talk to Otto. See if he can get us a light. This guy literally just pulled in the yard as I was getting the stream set up. It's kind of cool. Him come rolling up in here. All right, let's request the lights. There we go. Nice. We got a light. All right, before we blast off, I'm going to change this music up real fast. Really fast. So what do you guys think of the AGS? Have y'all got it? Have you tried it out? Have you looked at it? Like, what's your thoughts on it? I think it looks pretty sweet myself. There we go. Okay, we're back right with that. I think it's pretty sweet. Okay, we're good. Go ahead and release here. Around the independent. Well, draw a little bit. See if we can get her moving here. All right, not too much. Don't get too crazy with it. She is 9,600 feet, 9,680, 8,400 tons, 30 loads, 128 empties. Jade, what's up? Jaden Gaines joining in. Southeast Train Shorts says they love it a lot. Yeah, it's a good route. I like it too. All right, we stretched all the slack out. Let's see if we can pull on it a little more here. No DPU. There we go. Now she's moving. What's our speed? 15 out of the yard. I think it's 15. All right, bottom's moving. We're good with that. Amps. I'm out of it a little bit here. Kind of work her a little bit. Do have a light. I don't know what this signal is called. That's the only thing I don't know what these signals are. Wait to hear your opinion, but I don't like the trend of routes getting shorter and shorter, although the scenery seems to get much better. Casey Reed says, hello, glad you're all doing well. Good to see you, Casey. Yeah, as far as route length, and the thing is, like, with the super long routes, it takes so long for them to develop them. You know? Like, I know the Fitz was in development for well over a year, like a super long time. And I think what they're trying to do is to break these routes up where they're more manageable and they can get stuff out at a quicker pace. And they're trying in that, like, instead of having to like focus on 200 plus miles of track, it makes it more manageable, and then they can kind of focus on other things too to bring the quality up, you know, which I know is a big thing for them. They're really wanting to try to increase the quality of the routes and the scenery and that sort of thing. So when you have 200 miles of mainline, like, that's a stupid amount of track, like just track that you have to focus on, right? Just the infrastructure itself, the track and the signals and all that stuff. So I honestly, I kind of like the shorter routes if it's allowing them to work on other things as well too, right? If that makes sense. That's just my thoughts on it. Like, everyone's going to be different on that, right? Spur, did you go see Transformers 1? Did you like it? No, I have not seen it. I haven't watched anything in ages. Like, I hardly watch TV. Or TV and movies, that kind of stuff. Like, I watch a little bit every night before bed, and it's only briefly. And like here lately, around Christmas, I haven't had much time to do that either. Like, we watched Die Hard, right? During December, Mrs. Spur and I, we always watch Lethal Weapon, Die Hard 2, and then we finish it up with Die Hard 1. And we watch Alan Rickman get thrown off of Nakatomi Plaza, like, on Christmas Eve. That's what we watch. Every Christmas Eve, we watch Hans Gruber get thrown off of Nakatomi Tower. So you watched it on Paramount? Yes, I did. I think I saw it on there. Well, actually, we don't have Paramount Plus, so I've seen it somewhere, though. I don't know where I saw it at, but which signal system is on this route? Maverick? This is going to be the Southern. This is going to be the old Southern style signals. Basically, right? Like, the bulk of them. I don't know if the AGS was signaled before the Southern took over or not, but these are going to be like true Southern style signals. At least with this short route, you get Norris. That's right, too. Like, there's a ton of track just in Norris Yard. You know, there's no telling, like, how much track is in that yard. Just between the bowl, it's got, like, 2 forwarding yards, a big receiving yard. It looks like there's some kind of local yard in there and an engine facility and everything. And so, yeah, it's a good bit of track in there, too. Not including like what goes through Birmingham. You got a ton of stuff in Birmingham too, with all the different mains and stuff like that. A little bit of CSX, a little bit of the route to Sheffield and the BN side, right? This person says, I bet they had a hard time finding people to work, so they gave in and gave their people time off. You hit the DVD if you have a DVD player. I do have a DVD player. I got a few. We got a PS5. That's one thing the kids got for Christmas was a PS5. We've been kind of holding off on one for a while. Found one on sale, pretty good deal. So we broke down and got one. Our PS4 sounds like it's about to take off and go to the moon every time that thing fires up. Especially when you play Fortnite. I don't know what it is about playing Fortnite on the PS4, but man, that fan ramps up like no tomorrow. Every time I don't usually play Fortnite on it, but my kids do, and I'm like, is that thing going to break? Like it it gets so loud. My personal favorite Christmas movie is Polar Express. That's good. Yeah, my daughter just watched that the other night. They watched Polar Express the other night. All right, we're pulling out F-15 out of the yard. We're heading into downtown Birmingham. Yeah, so far I'm really impressed with this route. I've checked it out from end to end. It looks really good. The operations seem pretty nice. I've read up on it a little bit. I'm not like super familiar with this route, but it seems pretty cool from everything that I've seen about it. It seems really cool. I've watched some videos on it, so watch some rail fan videos, just try to get an idea of like what goes on out here, because like I said, it's really foreign to me. That or the Home Alone. Yeah, the Home Alone movies, those are a classic too. We actually didn't watch those this year. We usually will watch those, but we didn't get around to it this year. Oh, look at there, we got a meet, our first meet. I don't even know who that is. Like, let's see, who is that? Come on. I couldn't get it in time. I don't know who that is. We'll check it out in a second on the board. Aaron, what's up, dude? Just glad to see you. Good to see you too, bro. I hope you're doing well, man. I hope you had a good Christmas. We definitely did. 28. Is this the 28J? Did I miss it? I'm not an NS symbol guy either. Like, I don't know much of anything about those. Yeah, we're getting a little fast coming out of the yard here. Let's a little light dynamic here. I'm trying to be a little bit gingerly with this train because like she's so long, right? Like 9,600 feet of slop. So you're doing great. Had excellent Christmas, got fat, right? Yeah, we had Chinese food. We cooked Chinese food on Christmas Day. It's kind of our it's kind of like our little routine we do every Christmas, right, for the last few years. So we cooked sweet and sour chicken, made homemade crab rangoon and wontons, and of course had fried rice, all that stuff with it, egg rolls. Did you see the Union Pacific train derailment in Pecos? Yes, I did. That's tragic, man. That is so tragic and so avoidable. It really just is. It honestly kind of makes me mad every time I see stuff like that happen, and like there's more people like interested in standing there filming waiting for it to hit than to actually do something to prevent it from happening, right? Like it never fails. How many videos on YouTube do you see of trains hitting trucks that are stuck on the tracks, and there's 50 bazillion different angles of it and captures people trying to video that thing to post on social media, right? No one called. Yeah, they were stuck for like 45 minutes and no one called. Like, call the number, look and call the number. And honestly, I would go one step. Yeah, they'd rather get views than help, and it wound up killing 2 people. Like, it killed the guys on the train, and that is just absolutely so incredibly tragic because it was completely preventable, you know? I would go a step further. This, like, if I had been there and I had seen that, get someone to call the number right away. I would have gone down the tracks. If you look at Pecos, there's a road that follows the tracks both directions. Go down the tracks and try to flag it. Get something red, wave your hands frantically, just as like an extra step. Because I could tell you now, when I don't know what Maverick and some of you guys think, but if I was on a train back in the day and we were running and we saw someone frantically waving their arms by the tracks, we more than likely we wouldn't have stopped, but I almost guarantee you we would have slowed down. You know, and if they slowed down just a little bit, that could have made all the difference in the world, you know. So like I would try to flag it as well, because you don't know. You don't know, like, even if you call the number, you don't know, like, how long is it going to take to get all that process going before they get up on it and hit it, right? So I saw a video someone posted where a dude claimed that it was one of the people that was there shooting the video. He said that between that thing getting wedged and train, oh, it's only 45 seconds, really? Yeah, you're right. The truck should have never been there anyway. I mean, honestly. You know, and that's one of those deals where if that's true, if it was only there for 45 seconds, I've seen 45 minutes. It's hard for me to believe that it was 45 minutes stuck and no one did anything. 45 seconds sounds reasonable. There wasn't much time to call the number if that's the case. But flag the crossing, like someone go pick a direction. If it's one person, you got a 50-50 chance, you know. Go a direction, go down a little bit and try to flag it, because like even if it's a quarter of a mile and they get to slow down a little bit, that can make a difference. You heard 45 minutes. Yeah, I don't know, wait for the FRA report and see what happens. Exactly right, like then you'll know. I saw the 45-minute thing too. That's all over social media, but you have to take that with a grain of salt, right? Like, you have to take that with a grain of salt. Maybe that's legit, maybe not. You know, who knows? You heard that initially as well. 45 minutes seems like a long damn time for that thing to be sitting there and no one do anything. Like, it's hard for me to fathom that that thing was stuck for 45 minutes and no one did a thing. Law enforcement wasn't called. Like, that just seems excessive. At least I hope that's the case, right? Like, I hope they didn't let that thing sit there for 45 minutes and get hit. It was a crew that passed away. Yeah, the cab got pretty much, the top of the cab pretty much got ripped off. Looks like the lead engine, like, it derailed and spun back around, and then some of the cars came up behind it and got it in the cab. It was a crew. It was a crew there that got killed, unfortunately. Yeah, if you look at the picture, the lead engine, they hit and it looks like it jackknifed, and so it went 180 degrees facing the opposite direction, and then some of the cars went into the cab and pretty much just took the top of it off. So very tragic. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. It just goes to show how things can go wrong, like in the blink of an eye. You know, I just, like, they should have flag it and call the number, you know, like, do something. They've already released a preliminary report on the train. Okay. I hope it was 45 seconds and not. Yeah, 45 seconds isn't much time to do anything, honestly. That's why I say go down the tracks and try to flag it if you've got access. I would totally go down. Like I said, if you got two people, then you double your chances. Like, you've got 100% chance of at least letting them know. Like I said, if I'd been on a train and someone was flagging me frantically and it's just some stranger on the side, we wouldn't have stopped, but we probably would have slowed down. I would imagine we would have slowed down because we're trying to figure out what exactly was going on. Quincy says that it indeed sitting there for 45 minutes. Was that it? Was that in the report that it was 45 minutes? Yes, man, says God bless those train crews and how fast train was going by the time the engineer put on emergency brakes. It was especially 60. Yeah, like, what can you do? 45 minutes and no one called anyone. Yeah, that blows my mind. Everyone stood there waiting. They were there with their phones waiting to catch something, you know? Like, it's so avoidable. Would you have stopped for a red flare between the rails? Yes. Yes, absolutely. We would have had to, like, because, I mean, you could have considered that like some kind of a test. You know, so if it was a red flare, like a red fusee that was thrown out, that would have been like, you know, basically a red flag to us that something is up. Like, what is, you know, what's going on? Why is there a flare out? Absolutely. Someone waving something red, you know, that would have raised, you know, I'm just speaking from my experience. Everyone is different, right? Like, there's a bunch of guys in here who work for the railroad, but someone waving something red, like, that would have had us wondering, like, what's going down, right? Like, I could just see, you know, us at least coming out of the throttle and getting a little air. I wouldn't say, like, we wouldn't put it in emergency, because you don't know, right? Someone could be out there jacking with you, but, like, you know, at least coming out of the throttle and maybe grabbing a little air and starting to slow down to initiate something, because obviously something's going on. Which says, crazy part is, how in the world did anyone not know a truck was in trouble? Yeah, I can't believe that the cops weren't notified either. Like, that's kind of surprising to me, honestly. How you guys like that horn? It's pretty sweet, right? All right, so let's come out of dynamics. Let's start pulling over, because there's a little knot right here. At least that's like what little bit I know about this route, is that there's a little knot right here. For being almost 9,700 feet long, I'm trying to be really easy with it. Unless we're already at restricted speed, you have to slow down at restricted speed when you see a red fusee over here. Right, yeah, I think it was the same for us. If you saw a fusee between, or if you had a fusee or a torpedo, you know, makes that loud bang. It sounds like a shotgun going off. You know, honestly, like, if we just ran over a random torpedo out in the middle of nowhere, like, I don't know how we would have reacted to that. Like, we would have been wondering what in the hell's going on, but, like, would it have really registered with us that it was a torpedo? I heard one torpedo go off. They did it for us, so we know what it sounded like. But I mean, in the heat of the moment, you're just riding along minding your own business, and you hear a loud bang. Like, would it even register that it's a torpedo, you know? You know, the UP is going to sue that trucking company into hell and back. Yeah, probably so. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Honestly, that trucking company isn't going to have any kind of assets even remotely close to what they want to get, right? Like, they could probably go out of business and liquidate everything, and it wouldn't even come close. I don't know how big of a trucking company that was, but... I got 25 coming up. And the kid, yeah, they had kids. Yeah, that crew had kids, which is just so incredibly tragic. So avoidable. It really just was, and no one did anything. I hope that really kind of opens up people's eyes to, like, be a little bit more proactive on that stuff. And, like, yeah, trucking companies should be held criminally negligent. The pilot, like, is the pilot a separate company? That's another thing. Like, the pilot for that, were they separate? I thought the pilot was supposed to get all the routing and stuff taken care of, right? Or is that the trucking company? Oh yeah, you can see the lead engine come up off the ground. That's what Quincy was saying. Yeah, you could see it lift up, like the front end lift up and came back down, and I guess that's when it came off the rails. Yeah, kids are going to have to spend Christmas without their family. That's tragic. Like, it's just so avoidable. Like I said, call the number. At a minimum, call the number. You know, you don't have to flag. That's something I would do extra just to be a little more careful about it. But, like, at a minimum, call the number, you know? I mean, these people are already on their phone filming. All right, we got 25 coming up. We're at 26. right there on the signage, right? In plain, like a lot of people aren't aware of that though. Yeah, a lot of people don't know anything about that, and that's really sad. Like, they need to know. There's just so many of those videos here lately. It's like all the time, trucks getting stuck and getting videoed, people videoing them getting hit. It's like they're more interested in getting the video than they are, you know, trying to prevent. Just have to be a foamer. Yeah, foamers are aware of it, but like, you know, regular Joe Schmo on the street probably doesn't know anything about it, and they need to know. Yeah, I totally know those. Yeah, it totally could have been avoided. Yeah. Let's go a little light dynamic here. They should put a no truck zone for those crossings that have trucks take the highway. Yeah, you know, sometimes they get stuck anyway, though. Like, you could have the best signage in the world is like no, you know, high crossing, you know, or no trucks or whatever, and still people are going to do that, right? It's like that bridge. What's that bridge? It has a YouTube channel that's all the time taking the tops off truck trailers in North Carolina somewhere. It's like plainly marked, even with flashing lights, and they still get caught. Darren Reeves, on a lighter note, love the new emojis. Yes. So we got a W for the big W, the big win, right? If we need, we got GGs for, you know, get some GGs in the chat, right? Or if you just want to go the more traditional, or dubs, you could put some dubs in there too. Something a little different. We may change them up, you know, just something I did. I think they 11'8" or something like that. Kerbo, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? Good to see you. I hope you had a good Christmas. Yeah, the 11'8" bridge or something like that. It's constantly getting hit, and it's got all the signs in the world telling people that it's a low bridge, right? Anyway, the emojis, they translate pretty good though. I'm honestly kind of happy with that. Like I said, these are all custom Spur homemade emojis that I did. Every single one of them. I like working on that stuff. I hate editing, but I like working on the technical stuff too, like streams. It's a lot of fun. Finally got ammo for Anastasi. Paul says, I've taken the Crescent through Birmingham earlier this year, and the scenery really captures the station. Well, yeah, it does. It looks really good. Like I said, I worked for the railroad through here many times in real life, at least for a few years. It is dead on. Like, I know exactly what we're looking at and where we're at. Now, this part, you know, the NS side, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the NS side at all, but through downtown Birmingham there, yeah, absolutely. Nikolai, what's up, dude? How you doing? Minnesota Railfan says, what's the objective of this train? We're just running it from point A to point B. This is a Birmingham North Yard to a New Orleans train, so we just take it to the end of the line and delete it. It's 9,680 feet long, 1.6 HPT, 8448 on the tonnage. 30 loads, 128 empties. It's based on a real train that I saw on YouTube. I noted everything down as far as the cars and then tried to recreate it like as close as I could. Did everyone have a good Christmas? Yes, we did. Nikolai, we sure did, man. I hope you did too. Hope you had a good Christmas. All right, she's wanting to get a little slow. Now we're coming out of this sag here. Start coming back out of dynamics. This route kind of works you a little bit. I was honestly kind of surprised how much it works you. Oh, now she's wanting to run a little fast. There we go. Now she's starting to settle. She's pushing herself down and back up the other side, so she's kind of wanting to run a little bit, but we'll go with it. There says, had a great Christmas. Do you have Discord? Yes, I do have Discord. That's the one thing I haven't had a chance to do. Between everyone being sick, and then I tried to work on these emojis a little bit Get those done. Do some other stuff. I got the stream elements plug in for the multi-stream going. So yeah, we got to get back to the Discord side of it. Kerbo says that's a monster of a train. Yes, it is a monster of a train. This is a chemical train, 1000%. Like, it really just is. It is a big time chemical train. It's got tons and tons of plastic pellet hoppers in it. Sounds pretty sweet too, right? Looks good. Hazardous is going to call you not running trip optimizer. Not on my railroad, bro. We're not getting the letter. My trains don't tell on me. Shouldn't you run it as a key train? All right, since this guy is going south back towards New Orleans and towards the Gulf Coast, I am running this mostly empty, so I'm not running it. We don't have any hazmat on this thing. I think every single tank car I've got on this thing is empty. The plastic pellets are all empty because I figured like it's going back towards the Gulf Coast in Houston. So I would imagine like most of the plastic pellets in the tank cars would be empty going back. Just an assumption on my part though, so I don't know, like I don't know for sure, but gotta slow her up a little bit. She's running a little bit fast on me there. Nice forward power. Yeah, it is good forward power. Yeah, it's good, good looking train. Yeah, I watched this thing on YouTube. I took a notebook and I sat down and I just jotted down what each car was. Like I said, plastic pellet, gondola, you know, regular traditional 3-bay covered hopper. You know, it had one box car in the entire train, which I thought was kind of interesting that it only had the one box car. All right, we're up to 55 now, so we can go with this thing. All right, makes sense, but if anyone would like to explain the key train restrictions to me, I would appreciate it. All right, first of all, it limited your maximum authorized speed, right? Maverick's going to have to back me up on this because it's been over 20 years for me, but I want to say if we had a key train back in the day, they could only do like 50. I think they were 50-mile-an-hour trains. It didn't matter what the track was good for. If it was good for 70, then we only did 50, right? I think that was the biggest restriction I can remember. There was some, I think there was some restrictions for like accepted track, right? What else? I'm trying to think what else do we have? I'm drawing to, like, the speed is the main thing that I can remember off the top of my head. I said, I'm sure someone could throw it up in chat there in a minute and we'll see. Might help jog my memory. All right, let's start pulling on it. Can only go 50, right? Yeah, okay, so it's the same for them too. I think that's pretty much the same across the board. Yes, the key train is it has hazmat in it and it has to have so many cars, right? Like it has, in other words, I don't think, at least back in the day, I don't think it was a key train if it only had like 1 or 2. I think it had to be a certain amount of cars in it that were hazmat. Because, I mean, how many times do you ever have a train that doesn't have some kind of hazmat in it, right? Like, it's going to have something in it for the most part. $35 in key train with special dangerous zones, depending on the subdivision. Okay, yeah, we didn't have that. This dude just went right in front of us. Yeah, just got him. Yeah, we didn't have that. Ours was just 50. We didn't have any zone. I think the zones didn't come about until a little later, maybe. Like they started getting real particular about it. Steven, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? Hope you had a good Christmas. We're running NS train 345 to the end of the route towards Meridian, wherever this route ends, down to, what is that place called? Down to Powers. Yeah, we did. We got that dude back there. He went right around in front of us. That crossing must be a little bit buggy. right, so it's 55-mile-an-hour train. The next speed restriction is going to be the turnout down here at the end of double track. I think it's a 40-mile-an-hour turnout. Hagen, what's up? This is what's going on, Spur. We're doing good here, man. I hope you had a good Christmas. There's something something too slow over detector. Yeah, if you go too slow over a detector, it won't give you an accurate reading. But I'm trying to remember what that rule said, and I honestly don't remember it all. Like, it wasn't something we ran into a whole lot. Like all this, like a lot of this stuff, really, they started getting really nitpicky about it after the big NS derailment in Ohio, right? I think that's when they really started kind of like coming down on that or being particular about it. I'm kind of surprised. Like NS seems like they have a defect detector every 10 miles now. We'll have to look that up sometime. We'll look up the we'll look up key train stuff, or maybe someone can do it in chat. Honestly, like when I worked, key trains weren't really that, like, they weren't that big of a deal. Like we had them from time to time. I remember being on key trains, but the biggest thing that I remember out of that more than anything was just being a 50-mile-an-hour train. Which, I mean, a lot of our trains were 50-mile-an-hour anyway, so it really, like, it was a moot point. It didn't really matter, you know, like. Like a large majority of our railroad, unless you were down on the Fitz, was 50-mile-an-hour railroad, you know, so I think it was 55, which 99% of the time you didn't see that anyway, going up and down those hills. So it really, like, it wasn't a big deal. Oh, we didn't put our train symbol in. I totally should have done that. Do that real fast. It's going to be 345. 527. We'll say it originated today. There we go. I'm back in. Yeah, she's rolling pretty good now. There's a little knot right here, and then I think it drops down. It's like kind of gradually downhill to the end of double track down there, maybe. DD is pretty, that's pretty legit. Right, sounds pretty good. Levi says, wow, what an incredible train. Norfolk Southern is my favorite railroad. Yeah, you know, like I said, I don't know much about NS, even like way back in the day when I was a kid and I did some rail fanning with my dad. We never rail fanned NS because it wasn't close by, but it is cool. I like NS. The one thing that stands out to me about the NS from back in the day is how they used to use those remote box cars when they did the remote helpers in the middle of the train. They'd have that box car, the radio box car, right? The special box car that they used. And of course, the high hoods, right? High hoods and running long hood forward. Even when we rail fan when I was a kid, like you didn't see long hood forward that much. Like that was already kind of a thing of the past, right? Dade says, I like all railroads. Absolutely, dude. I like machines, period. Like any kind of machine just fascinates me. Trucks, construction equipment, like construction equipment really fascinates me. Like some of the big pans and like loaders and bulldozers and stuff like that really fascinate me. Maverick says, so key train is one or more tank car loads of poisonous inhalation hazard, one or more loads of spent nuclear fuel, 20 or more tanks, cars loaded, intermodal portable tanks of any dangerous goods. So there you go. So one or more of the inhalation hazards, which are the bad ones, right? And it's had another derailment back years ago. I think it was back in the 80s, late 80s in South Carolina, where they spilled like chlorine or anhydrous ammonia or something, like, or really, like, it killed people. That was another big one that they had. NS has had some bad, like, they've had some bad hazmat accidents for some reason. I don't know why. Luck just has not been on their side when it comes to stuff like that. I mean, honestly, like, I generally like using air. I prefer to use air when I run in game, but this train is so long, I'm worried about stuck brakes, so we're trying not to touch the air as much. You have to be like way more cognizant of stuck brakes and stuff like that. She's running pretty good though for 9,600 feet, like 9,700 feet. Yeah, I knew someone would hook us up. Appreciate it, Mav. Thanks, man. And that's another thing, you know, talking about hazmat, like the route that I work, like the Chicago to Jacksonville route didn't seem like it had as much hazmat as like the New Orleans to Atlanta routes, or like trains coming out of New Orleans, the Chemical Gulf, you know, like it seems like they had a lot more hazmat on those trains than we did. Interesting thing too, like when I worked, our molten sulfur trains were not considered key trains. They probably still aren't. I would imagine they're not, but I don't know, maybe that changed, but they just smell bad, right? They just smell like like sulfur. Inhalation hazards, no fun. Used to be a hazmat technician, lots of work when that genie gets out. Yeah, have you guys seen the video? Catch this DD real fast. The video of the farmer that wrecked his tractor, he was hauling the little trailer of anhydrous ammonia, and he wrecked and it ruptured and it killed him. And the sheriff's deputy or the state trooper came along and went up to go check on him, and he like dropped dead on the spot. Like you can see it on his dash cam. Like he literally, like, it killed both of them, but you could see the fog on the ground, right? Like, yeah, that stuff's no joke. It's absolutely no joke. Yeah, it is terrible. Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah, hazmat's no joke. People don't realize. But you see videos of derailments and stuff, people like sitting at rail crossings, like I would be getting up out of there like no tomorrow if I saw a derailment in front of me. All right, through Bessemer. So you got this big sag right here. Coming up to the end of the double track. It's a really fun route to run. I was really surprised the first time I ran it end to end. All right, so we got 40 up here through turnout. We had a approach diverging. Might need to get a little bit of dynamic. I'm not sure yet. a whole bunch of speed restrictions when it comes to higher risk key trains, depending on temperature, signal, non-signal track, right? Anhydrous ammonia is not listed as an inhalation hazard because of the power of the Farm Bureau. They didn't want that inhalation hazard placard on all those fuel tanks. Yeah, yeah, you're right about that, dude. I never thought about that. I didn't even know it wasn't an inhalation hazard, but maybe maybe I was wrong on that. Maybe it wasn't an anhydrous ammonia. Maybe it was something a farmer was pulling though. I know we had the little trailer on, like, you see the little farm trailers, like the tanks that they pull. It was something in that. And he had a wreck and it ruptured it, and like I said, it killed him, and it got the deputy or state trooper or whoever that had come up behind him too. Oh, it's anhydrous ammonia. Saw the vid. Okay, yeah. Probably anhydrous ammonia. You work in a chemical lab and have accidents with it from time to time. All right, there we are. We're basically 44R. We need to get a little dynamic here through this sag. We'll go that for a bit. It'll take your breath away with a very small amount, also blind you. Wow. One tank of anhydrous ammonia does make you a key train. This Spur's back for a bit. Welcome back. Now she's wanting to slow up on us. She gets just enough over that sag back there, and she wants to run you really fast until she starts on this uphill side here. Yeah, you see she's really starting to slow down now. Placarded as a non-flammable gas. That's one thing, like, when I quit doing that job, all that hazmat stuff just went out. Like, I don't remember any of that stuff. It is something that just was not something I retained. Not something I honestly ever thought about after that. I don't ever think about that stuff in Run 8. I just run. You could, like, it's an interesting aspect. Jerry, what's up, dude? This first question for you. I'm new to your streams. Are you a real-life locomotive engineer for a railroad? No, I am not. I did work for the railroad 20 years ago. I did work for the railroad a few years. I was never an engineer. I was just a lowly conductor. I just sit and rode. So, but I love Run 8. I've played Run 8 a crap ton since the day it was released, as well as other train simulators. I played Microsoft Train Simulator back in the day, Railworks, all that stuff. So no, I wasn't a real life engineer. I don't know much about it. I did get to run some. Like, we had old head engineers. I don't know how they are now, but back in the day it was very common for them to let you run, kind of like a fireman. Some were good at teaching, like some wanted to teach, some just wanted to sit and not do anything. Like, that's how that went down. There it says hi, number 3. This is for the 3rd member on the channel. We got a ton now. We got like 13 members now, I think, which I was blown away and very humbled by that. My older brother got stuck by a needle. At the doctor's office or by accident? Man, she's kind of draggy coming up out of that sag back there a little bit. E-trains make you nervous as hell. I'm always double checking. Yeah. Oop, I don't know why I did that. We don't need that. Yeah, I totally get that. Like I said, I don't remember having a lot of key trains. I remember them from time to time, but it wasn't an all the time thing. And maybe that's just like, maybe I just didn't catch them. Maybe partly because we just didn't haul like a lot of chemicals. Oh, in a house on a call. Oh no, that sucks. Was it a meth house? Sounds kind of methed up. Yeah, they are. Key trains are a lot of responsibility. Mrs. Spur said, I'd be draggy too if you'd been sick. All right, the train. Yes, the train is draggy. The train is draggy. Steven says, random question. Did you hear about the train accident in Pecos? Yes, we did. We just had a long discussion about that, dude. It's tragic. It's so avoidable. That totally 1000% could have been avoided. Not completely. It could have been like the speed could have been reduced if they had some heads up. Like there's a lot of things that could have gone down to help that situation at least a little bit, right? We were basically talking earlier about how people just seem like they're more interested in sitting there with their phones out waiting the video at getting hit than actually like actively trying to stop it from happening. Either way, Nikolai, I hope your brother's okay. I hope that works out. He got stuck by that needle. That sucks. Yeah, it sucks having to deal with that on a call. Like trying to put out a fire and get on a needle or something. Pecos is not pronounced the way I thought it was. Is it not pronounced Pecos? That's what I've always called it. His wife are taking some time off. Pecos. Okay. I've never, that's part of Texas we never have a reason to go to. Like, you gotta have a legit reason to go over there. That isn't a part of Texas you just randomly go to. Like, you gotta have business over there or be going through there or something. Yeah, 45 minutes to stop, enough time for someone to call it. Yeah. All right, Nikolai, we'll catch you later, bud. Hope you have a good day. I mean, where I live in Texas is about as far west as we venture. Like, there's no reason to go any further out that way. I think we rode a little faster here. Got this grade here now. So we're coming up on, what is this place? Where we at? Ocala. We do have one other meet somewhere out there. Got the 346 coming north. It looks like he's going to at least coaling. It says, can you put up a new Discord invite link that you have? Yeah, it's expired. I need to do a new one. I'm really surprised that it keeps, like, I didn't think there was one in the auto populate deal. Yeah, we got to fix that. Mrs. Spur's on it. It was supposed to be like infinite, and obviously that didn't work out. I don't know why. It's crazy. The last thing he did is, well, yeah, they're just minding their business, like going about their day like any other day. Go check her out here. Pretty nice little area with the scrub pines here. I dig those. Love that horn. Yeah, she's a big girl. She definitely is. Yeah, let's hop back in before she gets too crazy with it here. Having this Conrail route, I am building in trains, railroader simulator. Route is over 100 miles of track in Detroit, Michigan. Oh, that's cool. What's the maximum size route you can do in trains? CB says they only had 45 seconds. Yeah, they were doing 68. Yeah, they were well over 50. You're on Railroader and you love it? Nice. Yeah, I like Railroader too. I need to get back on there. And was that normal? Yeah, some tracks good for 70 mile an hour. Absolutely, especially on intermodal trains. Depends on the route. Depends on what the track's good for. You know, I worked one route that was good for 60. I worked another route that was only good for like 55. And we rarely saw that. You know, it was pretty much, I mean, it was good for 55, but it was pretty much a 35 mile an hour railroad because of the hills. What are miles is the max for trains if your computer can handle it? Is there a curve near there? A curve near, curve where? The crossing that they got hit? I don't think so. I think it's pretty straight. I looked at it on Google Earth. I think it's pretty straight through there. Tangent track. Start using out throttle a little bit here. I don't know my territory at all, so we're kind of just winging it here. Yeah, 68, it don't matter. You're gonna hit it. They could have dumped the air a mile from it and maybe they would have stopped. Like, it would have been close. This person hooked us up with a Discord link. Let's get some GGs. let's use some GGs for Mrs. Spur. She finally got signed in. Yeah, I know, it sucks having to recover your password. And GGs. There's some GGs and dubs in the house. Thank you, Mrs. Spur. Brandon says that's it. I mean, yes, absolutely. Jump in if you guys want to. I'll be the first to say I'm a horrible Discord host, though. Like, I don't do much with it because I really don't know what to do with it. And sometimes it's kind of hopping in there and other times it's dead. The GGs, yes, GGs. That translated way better than I thought it would. I never know with emojis, right? Like I said, I do all these myself, so I'm like, ah, that sounds kind of neat. I'll do that, but I've done some before where they did not translate. Like, you couldn't tell. It was just a blob, right? Like, you didn't know what it was. Had no clue what it was. Man, she's just all over the place as far as, like, now we're going back up. I'm trying my very best not to get a knuckle. Is there a heavy train? This one's pretty heavy. I mean, this one is 80, 84, 48. It's decent. For 9,700 feet long, it's pretty decent. I mean, with PSR railroading, they get a lot heavier than that now. Like this, honestly, this is a drop in the bucket, but you gotta think, when I did this 20 years ago, we thought a 7,000 foot train was stupid long. Like we thought that was a decently long train. We didn't have a lot of 7,000 plus foot long trains. Like most of them were like 5,000 to 6,000 feet, 4,000 feet. We had a lot of trains that were only 3,000 feet. Like it was nothing to have a little bitty train. This person says, shout out to Lamar, Captain Lamar, for keeping Discord going. Yes, absolutely. There are people active in there. I do know that. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what we can do in there. Like I said, I just don't know much of like, other than a chat. Like it's obviously it's a chat and it's a way to communicate like voice wise for multiplayer and stuff like that. But I remember back in the day using Ventrilo. Who remembers Ventrilo? I watched Multiplayer Railroader. I did not a members, but just a viewer multiplayer a long time ago in Railroader. Actually, I found that video. I may have to edit that thing and put it up. Our multiplayer. The only thing long trains are good for is the link bonus, right? That's the truth. I don't think we got a link bonus back in the day. I don't ever remember putting that in, like anything about that. I remember like the two trains lengthwise that stuck out to me. One time I had an empty grain train that was two of them combined together, and so it was like 8,500 feet long, maybe like 85. I remember that train being a headache on the railroad as far as like where we could meet and stop and not like block a whole bunch of crossings. I remember like we had to coordinate with the dispatcher a lot on that. And then another time I had a 11,000 foot intermodal out of the BNSF East Thomas. But those are the two that like really like stick out to me. Andrew, what's up, dude? How you doing in Alaska today? Hope it's not too cold. They ran a 22,000 foot long train in Simulator. 22 is 4.2 miles. No, I don't even mess with that. The longest I think I've ever done in games like 15,000, something like that. Yeah, I'm not a fan of PSR railroading. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous and an operational headache and greedy and everything else. It's all about eliminating crews, right? They couldn't get down to one-man crews, so they just eliminated the number of trains that they ran, that they crewed, right? So I mean, if you take 2 or 3 trains and double them, double and triple them together, you just eliminated 2 or 3 crews by doing that. Andrew says, doing great. That's good, man. I'm glad to hear. Jim James, what's up, man? This is Happy Friday. PSR caused a lot of derailments. Yeah, it seems like derailments have been on the rise since PSR, but yeah, another thing about like everyone says, well, there's way more derailments now than there were back in the day. I think it's more prevalent because of social media. Like you see it all over social media now because there's so many people there to capture it. Dude, I remember when I worked like in the early 2000s, we were derailing shit all the time. All the time. I remember we derailed a train. We derailed like 20 to 30 cars. They cleaned that up, and the very first train to go through there after they cleaned up that derailment, he derailed 20 or 30 cars like 2 miles down the track. Like literally, God's honest truth, that happened. They had a derailment, they cleaned it up, and the next train that went through there derailed too. But there wasn't a lot of social media, so that stuff wasn't like all over. It was more like local news, right? Like local news, people heard about it, but that's all you knew. Like it wasn't like national news like it is now, and social media like makes it national too, you know? Like social media takes local things and makes it national in the blink of an eye. There's a photo where the last Guerrero is pulling one coal hopper with 3 SD70 Max. Nice. Longest he ever had was Maverick. As long as he ever had was Z149 out of the Port of Montreal, nearly 14,000 feet. Got $100 plus for a link bonus. Nice. Jim James got a scanner for Christmas. That's cool. I'd like a scanner. I'd like a scanner that does aviation too. Ching Maverick, right? Yeah, longest I ever had was 11,000 feet that I can remember. I absolutely remember that train. We wound up going dead. We didn't even make it halfway. We didn't even make it halfway. We wound up going dead. And they probably like there's only like one siding that could hold us, and they put us in that siding. In your free time, look up BC 125 AT. Yeah, I've checked. We used to have a scanner back in the day. On the topic of long trains, how common are DPU communication losses? It seems to happen quite frequently in Run 8. I really don't know, dude. Personally, I never dealt with DPU. I've said this many times. If they told me back in 2003 that we were going to be running DPU on our trains, we would have laughed. We would have laughed at them. We would have thought that was the most ridiculous thing ever. So honestly, I don't know. Bearcat does make a good scanner, right? I remember my great grandmother had a Bearcat. It had the crystals in it, right? We just went over our ruling grade. Like 1% back there, right? Yeah, it's 1% down. Looks like we're going to be either meeting at Ben's or coaling. They haven't decided yet where we're going. We're not going to fit at either one of those. I hope he fits. He's 6,000 feet. Yeah, he'll fit. Where are we going today? We're going down to Powers on the AGS, the new NS route for Run 8. We started up here at the yard in Norris in Birmingham, and we're going to Powers. It's a 345. It's a Birmingham to New Orleans trains, 9,600 feet long, 9,600 feet, and 8,448 tons. He's a big girl. It's a big train, right? Like it's pretty decent. Building a DP train is annoying. It adds like 5. Yeah, I couldn't imagine like the headache of having to deal with that. Man, she's wanting to go now. You have to grab a little air. You have to grab some airs, guys. I love this spot right here. Like, this is a cool little location right here. Listen, I'm trying not to touch the air too much. I don't want to have to deal with stuck brakes and like get air. Like I'd only feel comfortable getting 10 pounds, and then you got to wait for it to go all the way to the bottom, and like it's just going to be a headache. Yeah, but hostlers don't do any of that. I don't think they have hostlers anymore, dude. I'd imagine all the hostlers have probably been cut off. They can't handle the train, only the engines. Do they even have hostler jobs for y'all anymore? Because I know even when I worked, they were trying to get rid of hostlers. Yeah, they were totally trying to get rid of them. They didn't want them. In engine shops only, right? So your hostlers didn't take power out to like the forwarding yard or get them from the receiving yard and stuff like that. Like in Waycross, they used to take them. They definitely took them out to the forwarding yard. I remember that because I never had to take power out of the shop. I always had to bring it in. So like you go in the receiving yard, and that'd be the first thing they would tell you: cut your power off, take it to the house. But Leaving? Like, I've heard guys complain about having to get their power out of the shop, but I never had to get power out of the shop. Like, it was always on the train and ready to go. Another 0.5 back up. Really? It's all up to the train crew to get out. See, that's different. That must be a company thing or something, because our hostlers did. Like, they took stuff all over the yard. Yeah, they did. They took stuff all over the yard. Like, mostly to, like, the forwarding yard, stuff like that. Which was basically across the yard. Like, it's all the way on the other side of the yard. The NSF is a little different. Yeah, it could be different. It could be a company thing. It could be an agreement thing. I thought I heard someone say that they got rid of hostlers down at Waycross. They didn't have them anymore. This person says, don't forget to smash that light and destroy it. Take a look back on our train here. Nice. All right, we gotta be thinking about that meat. Ooh, 1.41 down. That's kind of legit. I just saw the Slack do something really weird too. Yeah, let's come out of that a little bit. I feel better coming out. It's a pickup initial claim for us. Yeah, we didn't have that. It's all the old heads, the pre-82 guys that had all the really sweet agreement stuff. They had 50 bazillion different claims. I'd have to write all that stuff down and be like, don't forget my whatever, you know, like. Oh, those dudes had it good. That was like the last good agreement was the pre-82. After that, everything went downhill. Everything started going downhill after 82. That was the beginning of the end. Meat, I prefer steak. What are you talking about, Mrs. Spur? You done lost me. I had to think about it. Yes, okay, okay. Mrs. Spur being a jokester. Being a comedian. All right, what do we got here? We got a double yellow. Yes, so looks like they're going to be holding us up at Ben's. All right, I gotta figure out how I want to do this because I have zero clue like how this grade is here. I think there's a climb into Tuscaloosa, so the grade may work for us on this. I'm just not sure how to like approach this because I don't know the route. 1.36 up, so that's definitely going to slow us down. We could use some air since we're going to be stopping up here. We'll just kind of go with it for a bit. I think we'll grab our air when we see the approach. Come out of the throttle. Route looks amazing though. Yeah, it is. It's a nice route. It really just is. There and go through all our emojis there. Post all of them. I think it's minus the W. What would you say is your favorite locomotive? My favorite would be the DD40X and Last Railroad's SD70 Max. Those 70s have the flared radiators, hip, and 4300 horsepower. Nice. My favorite, probably that I don't know. I really like the AC 6000s. Those were really nice. Yeah, those were super cool. Another nice little spot on the railroad here with the construction on the highway, like the stuff that they're doing there.
Norfolk Southern detected. Milepost 177.8.
They've definitely taken the detail up. That's for sure. I like that a lot. It looks like they're trying to 4-lane this. All right, there's our approach. He's slowing down pretty good though for us on that grade. They're nice locomotives. Yeah, I like the AC 6000s were nice. AC 44. Their AC 6000s, we didn't have a lot of those though. Those were only on pigs. Like the only time I ever had AC 6000 was on 120 or 121. Yeah, it's cool. You can see how it looks like they're getting ready to put in another, like a divided highway or something here, right? Like I noticed that the other day. Like they go to 4-lane it, right? Big construction project. All right, let's keep easing up here. Andrew, what's going on, dude? Just hope all are well now. Yes, I think everyone's on the mend now, so that's always good. Like I said, my middle daughter, she was in the hospital for 24 hours. They kept her in. They basically just wanted to hydrate her because she'd been so sick, and try to help her with that headache. And the headache was on it. It was just from the virus. Like it was the craziest thing. That's another nice area right here too. Okay, next signal's 1.3, so this isn't a very long siding here. Maybe we slow her up some. F59 PHI. That's your favorite? I say the AC 6000s were really nice. The AC 4400s though, probably like top of the list because I was on those so much. Oof. That slack banging around back there a little bit. It's our grade here, a little bit down. I have to grab a little air. I think we'll do that. We'll get a minimum, then we'll draw them down the rest of the way up here when we stop. And now she's wanting to squat on me. Maybe I didn't need to do that. I told you, I don't know my territory. Now it's flat. I thought it was dropping off more downhill. All right, let's go ahead and let go of that. I'm guaranteed that's going to be some stuck brakes. We'll check it out in a minute when we get stopped up here. Maverick says, I worked with a trio of GP9s on a remote local the other day. So much fun. They take off like nobody's business. Really? Do they have some get up and go? That's crazy that they do. You wouldn't think that. You think they'd be sluggish. I'm trying to think what's some of the oldest power I'd been on. Probably some of the SD, like the SD40s would be like the oldest. I bet that's a 567, isn't it? I don't know what kind of power those have in them, to be honest. They load up super fast. That's cool. Yeah, we'll keep easing around up here. Trying to figure out what she's going to do. It looks like she's just kind of coasting along. All right, there's our stop. Right, stop on the main here. Hold for this other guy, the 346 coming north. It's going to take him a minute to get up here, unfortunately, so may be here for a while. Yep, gauge goes from 0 to 900 in a hurry. Yeah, I think probably SD40s were some of the oldest stuff that I'd been on.
Norfolk Southern detected. Milepost 177.8. Track 1. No defect. Total axle 650. Only 12 seconds.
I think that was us, right? Yeah, that's us. Clear that DD. Yeah, they have a ton of DDs on this route. I think that's after Ohio. Wait and get spare. Actually, I want to I think we got, yeah, we still got we still got brakes hanging on the bottom. Yeah, look at that. So yeah, we grabbed that minimum and then I let go of it pretty quick, and so that's what happened. See, we got like half our train, half the brakes, so it's almost like a soft set in a way. Right? Like, isn't that, is the soft set the front end or the back end? I can't remember which one that is. You don't even hear them talking about soft sets anymore. I don't even know if they teach that. Sure enough, though, good. Like, not quite half of our train still got the brakes applied. Of course, fix that. We'll just draw them down tight and then let go, and then we should be good. And we got one car on the bottom that's stuck pretty good. That's why I don't like put a full set. Yeah, put a full set and yeah, release it when it's done. Yeah, we'll be good here in a second. Yeah, long ass trains like this, I don't like messing with the air nearly as much. Like if it was like 4,000 or 5,000 feet, I'd be using the air like no tomorrow, but this thing is just a headache. All right, let's go ahead and draw it down. It just takes so long, right? Like you got to wait for for it to apply on the bottom. It takes forever. That's why I hate long trains like this. All right, we're good here. I'm gonna draw them down a little bit more. We'll get 15. All right. We got to hang out here for a bit and wait on his other job. See where he's at. Oh, he's not too far away. Yeah, he's pretty close. Dale, what's up, man? How you doing? Says a belated Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you too, Dale. Hope you had a good, we had a good one here. Everyone's on the mend. Jerry Brown, hi, finally caught your live stream of Run 8. What's up, Jerry? How you doing, man? Yeah, we've been at it for a little bit here. We're almost to the end of the line. We got a little ways to go. We're down at Benz. We're holding at Benz on the main. We're going to be meeting at 346, and then we take it to Powers, and that'll be it. So it's the 345 train, Birmingham to New Orleans. This is a chemical train, right? Tons of plastic pellet hoppers and tank cars. Like this screams a Nollins train big time. All right, yeah, she's good size. 9,700 feet, 8,500 tons. Blocking that crossing, those people are gonna be all kind of pissed off. Blocking that crossing too. Oh man, you know these people are gonna be mad. They go roll up to the crossing and see like 4 cars hanging over it. Yeah, they're gonna be upset. I just got home from the island. Nice. Damn, look at the gray ghost in the chair. Yeah, that's a good train. This is a good train, right? mostly empty. Believe it or not, 8,500 tons and is mostly empty. It's 128 empties and 30 loads. So I figured most of all these tank cars and pellet hoppers going back to the Gulf Coast would be empty, right? Oh no, it's got some panels sitting over here. Crack panels. I don't know if they're gonna do some crossing work or what, but I love the construction work over here. Like I said, they get ready to 4-lane it. It looks like they're doing some kind of highway project over here. Yeah, that's really cool. It's a nice little detail. It looks like they're building something up to this road too. Maybe some kind of connector, maybe. All right, let's go back to the head end. So yeah, this is Mercedes plant down in Vance. This guy's hanging out. Here's where they load them. Yeah, I remember when they got a Mercedes in Alabama. That was a big deal. Like, that was all over the news forever. Mercedes. And then here's our head in. Our head in. Well, my lunch is up. Have a good one. All right, Andrew, I appreciate it, man. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Stay warm in Alaska. Jason Pace, what's up, dude? Says howdy. How you doing, man? We're just we're hanging out here waiting on a meet. We gotta meet another train. Man, I don't know, that car still. I hope that thing lets go. We potentially got one stuck on the bottom. But think about it, like, technically we wouldn't even know. Unless someone told us that we had stuck brakes, you wouldn't really know. Maverick said, I would totally work that plant. I love locals, right? Yeah, it does look like a fun place to work. I was always really fascinated with like auto parts in railroading, right? Especially the hot shots that they used to run like between Detroit and LA. Auto parts for Pico Rivera. They had a what kind of plant was it down at Pico Rivera? Ford? Is it a Ford plant or something down there? There's a few automotive manufacturing plants down in LA, but those trains that ran the automotive parts down to Pico Rivera, those things were hot. Like, those were super hot trains. There's multiple railroads that like did that. I want to say N&W was part of it. The Santa Fe was part of it. Who else? Like, there was several that were involved with that. All right, this guy should be coming up pretty soon here. But hop down, we'll watch him by. There we go. Go back to that display for now. All right, well, he should be up here anytime now. At least I hope. Should be knocking that signal down. See if we can find him. Yeah, he's actually a little further away than I thought he was going to be. There we go. We'll watch him by up here. What's his signal showing? You mean going into the siding? He's probably getting a diverging approach, I would imagine, going in. All right, they're route-based signals. Nice. Let's go peek real fast. We'll see what he's got going in. Yeah, he's got a diverging approach. I think he can either get a diverging approach going in, or he can get a yellow on the very bottom, and that would be a restricting. So he could maybe get either or. I'm not sure how it works out in game, but They're definitely different than speed signals. I like the old Southern signals. They're very distinct, especially the old school and the GRS signals that they had back in the day. Like they were very, very distinct. Like you could see a set of Southern signals and you knew who that belonged to. There's no doubt. All right, well, we'll hang out here. Dim your lights for oncoming traffic. You know, that's something, honestly, that's something we didn't do during the daytime. Believe it or not, we only dimmed at night. I don't know if that's changed or why, but we never dim during the day. You mostly run on the Mateo SoCal server and the Lazy Farmers NorCal server. That's cool. I haven't heard of those. I don't know anything about those. Average speed signals are way better. No need to learn your turnout speeds for the most part. Yeah, that's true. That's the funny thing about like our speed signals, like all our, I won't say all our signals, but a large majority of our sightings were signaled. And so you get a medium approach in, but all the turnouts were only good for 25. Like we didn't have a single 30-mile-an-hour turnout on the entire railroad. We dim anytime except for when we're on a crossing. Yeah, that was something we didn't do. We just didn't like, I don't ever remember anyone dimming. I remember them dimming at night, but not like, not during the day. I have to look that up. I don't know if that was something we just did or if it was just different back then or what, but we can go ahead and dim it. We'll do that. Since y'all want to dim, we'll dim it. Here we go. Well, I turned it off. There we go. Now we're on dim. Looks like it's on dim, right? Yeah, we're dimmed. All right. Yeah, I remember one time we met a train at night. He was sitting in the siding waiting on us, and his light was so bright. And that was definitely something we always dimmed at night, like unless you couldn't. But his light was on bright, and he bright lighted the hell out of us. And it turned out the train was dead. There's no, like, it'd been dead for a long time. And so they figured that someone had been on the train tampering with it and messed with the headlight. Like, I mean, I guess the outbound crew could have just forgot, right? Like, I mean, that wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility, but they swore up and down that they had dimmed the light. So I don't know. It was out in the middle of nowhere too. Like it's way out in the country. Like the only way you could have gained access to that trade is if you purposely went down there to like mess with it. All right, this is 346. I don't know where this guy goes. He's not the reciprocal of ours, I don't think. I think the 344 is the reciprocal back the other way. Did he dim his light? Really? I didn't know AI did that during the day. I never paid attention, to be honest. I've seen him dim it at night. Like, it's very obvious at night, though. Let's see. Is this tagged? Maybe that give us an idea? Mac. I have zero clue what Mac would be on this route. Like, I don't know these tags at all. Anyone got an idea what Mac is? What could Mac be? I mean, the only places that I can think of around here is like Norris, Atlanta, Tilford, the Butts in Chattanooga. Macon, really? Okay, Mac is Macon. Seems like they would have had it. Like they have to go all the way up to Birmingham to go back down to go back to Macon. I guess NS doesn't really have a good route like across that way from New Orleans, right? Right, like. I'm trying to think of where that route went that we crossed on the Fitz at Junction City. That went to Columbus, so it goes over to Columbus and then. Yeah, I guess there's nothing. I guess there's nothing from the southwest into Columbus, right? This is all Macon. So I guess he would go up to Norris and then go down to P-Line that way. Like I said, I'm not an NS guy by any means. I really just don't know much about it at all. We also, it reminds me, we also have some of this medium speed is 25, which is funny because we have diverging speed, which is also 25. But what, yeah, like, so yeah, we get an approach medium and then a medium clear into the siding or medium approach or whatever. And like, it's 25. You had to know that all those turnouts were 25-mile-an-hour turnouts. So, I mean, it kind of negated the purpose of speed signals, honestly. Like you get an approach medium and a medium clear in or whatever, but you could only do 25. And that was for the entire subdivision. I want to say on the Fitz they had some 30-mile-an-hour turnouts, but it wasn't a lot. At least I don't think. Maybe they were all 30. Like I said, it's been over 20 years. I have to go back to my timetable. Nice. There we go. All right, we can blast off. Oh, we don't. Never mind. We don't have light. We was in here for a minute. I wonder if Independent will hold it here. 0.5 down. Yeah, I'm not doing that. She's pretty bunched up in the middle. It'd be my luck. I knock the big brake off and then the bottom rolls out. Saving money on those diverging plates, right? Most of the crossovers over here are limited. Those are fun to go through. Yeah, wait, I don't remember. I don't think I ever went through any kind of limited crossover. Like, is he gonna let us go or what? Like, we need to call him up. I get like Otto, come on, you forgot about us? Like 803. I don't know what he's waiting on. Oh, give us a light, dude. No one's going anywhere until we move. Like, he says, whoa there. Like, dude, I think it's pretty reasonable for me to call you up and ask for a light. Like, I don't need a bathroom. Yeah, I guess so. He's sure enough not giving us a light out of here. Like, he's still light. Like, oh, there's someone else. What? 28J is coming up. He's 5,200 feet, so he'll fit at Fleming or Coling, but we definitely won't go in the hole there. But the thing is that 346 ain't going to go anywhere either until we get out of here. Switches take time to restore sometimes. Had to say, yeah. This is when a dispatcher calls you up and tells you to go down to the switch and take it off power and hand through it and put it back on, right? Take switch off power, put it in hand throw it back and forth a few times, put it back on power. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Because he can't put the 28J, like they're both not going to fit. Like this isn't going to work. So I'm wondering, do we need to take over? $9,600 feet. Yeah, we won't even fit here. We would barely hang out. Yeah, we're 9,600 feet. We're almost 9,700 feet. 9,680. The next siding is 9,495, so we'd be a few hundred feet longer. The 28J is 5,200 feet. So he'll fit. He'll clear up. I just, I don't know why he's not letting us go. By the way, Paul, those DV plates are going to be getting rare. The new signals have a flashing DV light these days. Yeah, that's all above my pay grade. We didn't have anything like that. Our thing that we had back in the day that's going away is the doll arms. Those are probably all gone now. I don't even know if there's a doll arm left. All right, well, I'm starting to wonder if I need to intervene, guys. We may have to intervene. Stop horsing around. We're not horsing around, dude. Like, what? He's getting pissy. Yeah, we may have to take this. What's up, East Alabama? How you doing, man? Hope you had a good Christmas. We're sitting here. We just made a meet. Otto's kind of screwing us over. He doesn't know what to do. I don't know why. I don't know why he won't let us out. Stop horsing around. NS pun, maybe. Yeah, it could be. Could very well be. He's sure as hell not letting us out, though. I don't know why. There's nowhere to go. You know, like the 346 can't leave until we leave because we're hanging out well past the end of the siding. So he's all sewn up. Yeah, I think he's just jacked up for some reason. See what he says this time. Keep your saddle on. Okay, that's enough. Let's just take over because he's not like off, and we'll take you. Yeah, 28J is going to go in the hole. It's ridiculous to make us go do an in and out with 9,700 feet of train when he could just go in there and fit. Right? Like, I don't know what he's doing. We'll give ourselves a light. Put him in the hole. There we go. Nice. All right. Now we're good. We had to intervene, but it's okay. I have zero clue what she's going to do right here. I just know we got a lot of... She's bunched up pretty good in the middle. I don't want to yank that slack out too much. There we go. Bottom's moving. Okay, we're good now. What's our grade? 5 down? I felt like she's pretty easy rolling right here. I I was kind of thinking we were draped over something, but I guess she's in a sag. I don't know what's going on with it. It was kind of weird how she was. Yeah, we got some good stuck brakes on the bottom there. You know, technically we shouldn't know about that though. We're gonna go with it. Always thought it would be cool if you met AI trains that they could tell you if you had stuck brakes, right? Like if they do a roll by on you, they should say, hey, 345, you got stuck brakes on the bottom. You know? This is Spur hitting up the new emoji there. The GGs. All right, let's ease on down there for our next meet. He should be cleared up, honestly, by the time we even get there. I don't know. He's a little ways away. How y'all doing today? We're doing good, East Alabama. How you doing, man? RTC called us about stuck brakes once. DD didn't give us an alarm, but I guess it gave him one. Yeah, that's all stuff like... We didn't have anything like that back then. The only time we ever knew that we had stuck brakes is if someone told you. Like I said, I drug a tank car across our entire subdivision 200 miles, and I felt like it was probably drug another 200 miles with stuck brakes with a tight handbrake on it. Never had a clue until the last train we met before we got into the yard told us that we had stuck brakes, really bad stuck brakes. And like I said, by the time I got back there to it, the wheels had done turned blue. And it done shaved metal off the treads. It looked like they'd been stuck in a lathe. Like I remember there's big curls of metal and stuff off of them. Like it was bad. It was real. Had no clue. Zero clue. Like I could feel the heat coming off the wheels before I even got up to it. And never once got popped by a single defect detector, which just kind of blew my mind. I don't know if it was like too big of an area of heat instead of more concentrated. Like it was bad. It was really, really bad. They had a tight handbrake on them, and I don't like that handbrake had to have been put on somewhere way south. Like that thing had to have been drug for a long ways with a handbrake. I don't know how else they could have got one. No one knew. Like we had multiple meets. No one said a word until the last train we met. Like I guess that was the only train that actually watched us by, right? Like we went by maintenance away crews. We went by a surfacing gang, like all kind of people out there on the railroad, and no one caught this car. And because that happened, like 8 different trains, because I heard about it after. We didn't get in trouble. Like we didn't do anything wrong, right? Like we had no idea. But they told us because of our little stuck brake escapade, we caused like 8 different trains to go dead that day. It caused 8 trains to go dead that day. It was bad. Like we sewed up the entire railroad because of that. But I mean, what can you do? At least you guys have the luxury of the desk to be able to call you and tell you, you know, if something's going on. I wonder how accurate that is. Like, do they catch everything or? It looks like she leveled out and she's climbing back up. I thought we got another pretty good grade somewhere down here going into like Tuscaloosa, maybe? Maybe that's the ruling grade. Yeah, I just picked back up big time. Almost 1.15 up. That's a good grade. You've been called a few times saying you got an axle trending hot, but they never hit by the DD. It's cool that they know that. Now that is something that's changed. That's like super cool that they can tell you that like it's a little bit hot, right? Like it's not enough to really do anything, but it's a little bit. Another advanced approach. A little bit hot. Like I said, trending hot. Like, that's really cool. Oleander, what's up, dude? Sweet Home Alabama. Yes. We're finishing up our trip. They have a department just for that. Yeah, that's super cool that they can do that now. That they have. What's up, Paul? Portugal sending a hug. All right, man. I appreciate that, dude. I hope you had a good Christmas. Yeah, it's kind of fascinating that they can do that. That they can let you know. All right, we're going to kind of ease around up here since we got that advanced approach. He may clear up by the time we get down there. That's pretty close to it. This may actually be a pretty good beat. We could let this guy go. Otto done goofed us up. He didn't know what to do. I don't know what Otto's problem was, but he absolutely could not handle that. I imagine after East, is it Palestine or Palestine? It's Palestine, Ohio, right? Derailment, they watch temps a lot closer. Yeah, it seems like they got like a lot more DDs too. 901, what's up, Deuces? Late to the party. As always, Old Spurs Company. What's going on, man? I hope you had a good Christmas. Not much is going on. We're finishing up our trip. We're about to have a meet down here at, I guess this is Tuscaloosa, right? No, it's not Tuscaloosa. I take that back. This is just outside of Tuscaloosa. We're just going to kind of drag around there on this 345, 9,680 feet long, 8448 on tonnage. Big train. You actually have to call out no defects after you go over the DD. Okay. I don't remember us having to do that. But I remember when I was a kid and I would rail fan with my dad, they did call no defects. But I think that was more of a communication, like a holdover from when they had a caboose. But I don't remember us ever calling out no defects over the radio. I don't remember that being a thing. Like I said, I could be wrong. I don't remember that being a thing. You just, like, I think we called it to each other in the cab, but I don't remember saying that over the radio. Listen, maybe I'm having a brain fart. Like I was saying earlier, I don't remember us dimming a headlight during the day either. I really don't. But like, probably just a brain fart. So they didn't have to do it till the NS derailment. Yeah, the NS derailment changed a lot of things. All right, back downhill again. It's a lot of up and down on this grade. I was really surprised by that. Spur says, call being fashionably late. Mrs. Spur is almost always fashionably late, so I support you in your endeavor, right? We had Trainmasters testing crews by purposely lowering the volume on the DD to make sure crews were paying attention. Really? Wow, that's pretty extreme. Ooh, we just had slack running like crazy. Yeah, no, we never had, like, that was never a thing. That was never a thing. I remember us having the DD at Pelham was all the time giving false readings. Man, and you'd be running along and there'd be like a fleet of you going north and you would hear people start getting popped by that DD, and then it'd be another train, and it'd be another train, and you'd be like, please take that thing out of service before we get up there. Like, please take it out of service. Co Springer, what's going on, dude? They did that on you on a work train? Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Trainmaster straight up turned off the volume. So if you don't get a good DD report, you got to call in now and check. You got to call that desk. What does RTC stand for? I don't even know what that is. Like I said, that's all totally new. That's new technology. Like that's. Can they tell if you got flat spots and stuff too, or is that something different? Rail traffic control. Oh, okay, I got you. Railroad traffic is a Canadian thing. All right. We have to call a dispatcher and tell them it's not working. And Trainmaster would come on and say that was a good test. Okay, I got you. So like. So don't they have like a temp desk though, right? Like they can tell, like you said, that you had a bearing that was trending hot or something like that. Like do you talk to them at all, or is that all through the dispatcher? Like how does that work? Like do they just relay this information to you? It is 1.4% downhill. Jeez, oh Pete. No, so they relay to the dispatcher and then they tell you, okay, I got you. I got you now. There's our stop. Gotta beat that 28J. I gave the chief RTC crap on the radio because he kept asking me, it was taking me so long to brake test 150 cars. Yeah, I used to, every once in a while you would hear the chief. It wasn't a lot. Like usually it wasn't something good if you heard the chief, that's for sure. It's like one of the few times I ever remember hearing the chief come over the radio was telling everyone else that they were going to get fired if they delayed us anymore. Like legit, like he legit got on the radio and told everyone that. It's like he did a blanket broadcast. He said, if anyone else delays 121 more, you'd be looking for a job tomorrow. Needless to say, everyone got into clear. There was like a maintenance away crew. There was a bridge gang out. Like they were doing, they were putting walkways on bridges. There's a local out there. Like there's a few things out there. It's like 7 in the morning, so things were just getting going. He did though. He told them they'd be looking for a job. The temp desk, like that fascinates me though. I wonder what that's like. Is it like one person? Is it like 1 or 2 people and they just watch the entire system? And they just get an alert and it just tells them that, hey, this DD just called, like, you know, I wonder how that works. I need to look that up. It could potentially be a stressful job, right? Especially after the NS derailment. You don't want to miss anything. Like if you miss something and something bad happens, you're going to jail. You're on an X208 today, BNSF rack train due to the lack of power in Nashville. We yarded the train at Boyles and took the engines to the West Yard. Where's the what is the West Yard now? Is that where the bowl used to be? The old departure yard. Okay. It blows my mind. It's called the old departure yard now. Okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah. I got you. It's a West Yard now. Wow. Is there anything left of the bowl at all? Like, is it just like completely gone? It boggles my mind that Boyles and Tilford are both gone. As busy as those yards were back in the day, just like going off, like hopping all the time. It boggles my mind that they're gone. Like I can't even fathom that. I can kind of see, maybe I can kind of see Boyles being go, because that yard was always a hot mess. Always a hot mess. Atlanta had, it seemed like they had it together a little better than Boyles, but not much. But either way, completely gone. You wait, in about 10 years, they'll be like, we need to build a new yard. It's still a hot mess? Yeah. In 10 years, they'll be like, we're putting it back in. That's totally what they're going to do. We're going to put it back in. Like the double main between Parkwood and Grace's. They took it out and then they decided to put it back. Switching bad. Yeah, pretty much. They don't want to, they don't have to deal with that stuff. It doesn't help just about every train work spoils. See, that's the thing. Like when back in the day, at least on the Lineville side, we didn't have any trains that did a lot at Boyles. Like 592 did their thing down at the bowl on the tail tracks. That was the one that was a headache, because they would go down the single main behind the bowl there. Then they'd have to work the tail tracks, and there was no way for them to get trains around unless they took them up the inbound. But like, I mean, other than like the trains that just like flat out yarded there wasn't a lot that went on other than that I remember. I don't know about the SNA stuff. Like those could have been different. All right, well, I guess we'll stop here and hang out a bit. I'm really kind of surprised that dude ain't up here yet. Let's see what our stuck brakes are doing again. We're going to peek. I mean, I won't pretend like we don't know. Oh, they released. Never mind. Okay. They let go. Nice. Just see if we can hold it when the independent. Should be able. Yeah, it should be fine. All right, we'll just hang out here. 28J's coming up. That's going to be our meet. I don't think there's anyone else after that. We need to turn this back over to Otto in a bit. A little bit bunched up on the head end, but I think it's pretty much downhill through here, so we don't have to worry about the bottom rolling out. At least I hope not. Yeah, you're right though. Switching is bad. They don't want to switch anymore. Like they would do away with all that if they could. I think they would be perfectly happy if they could just run like unit trains. Did you have any close calls at railroad crossings while working for CSX? Yes, I did. I never, lucky, like that's one thing I'm most thankful about, is I never hit anyone, but we definitely had some close calls for sure. Absolutely. The one I can remember more than anything, we almost hit 2 kids. We were coming into this town called LaGrange, Georgia, and we merged in with the A&WP from Montgomery to Atlanta, so we merged into a double main with a crossover. And there's a South Yard job at Boyles. It does most of the switching. God dang, I hate it, really. Hey, that just blows my mind how that's changed. But anyway, we're coming around. So we come around this big sweeping 25-mile-an-hour curve where it merges into the double main. And there's a busy road crossing there called Main Street. And I remember seeing these 2 kids like running up the road to the crossing. It was obvious they were going to try to get across, like just running on foot. They're going to try to get across the crossing before we did. And it was a boy and a girl. And the girl was obviously like struggling, like she couldn't run. And she got up to the double main and she stopped right in the middle of our tracks and put her hands on her knees and was like winded. Like you could tell she was just done. And I don't know if she thought like we were going to be on the other track or what. But like my engineer was blowing the horn like crazy. And she just wasn't doing anything. And it literally, like we were in a wide cab, it literally got to the point where she disappeared in front of the nose. And I remember standing up and looking and I couldn't see, and the boy had come back and grabbed her and pulled her off at the last minute. Like I could see him like out the window down by the tracks. And I remember looking at my engineer and he was as white as a ghost. He had a heart condition, so I thought like he was about to stroke out. And he's like, did we hit them? And I was like, no, they're yeah. I was like, no, they're clear. They, you know, they got off. But like, that is like the one that really like sticks with me more than anything else, was that one time. Like I guess she was just done. I don't know. This job, spot the trains and work the classes. I think they just do block swapping in Birmingham now, right? East Alabama. Do they originate trains at what's left of Boyles? Tilford can't reopen because they sold off. Yeah, they sold a lot of that off that was down at the bowl, that land. Honestly, to me, it was never that great of an area. Couple trains that originate there. .643 and 645 are about it. Sorry if you hear my manly sick voice in the background sound like Liv Tyler in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, she had that deep voice going on. And where are the hobbits? I do not know. The ring race. Yeah. Probably a remote job too that handles 6,000 tons and bled cars with a single engine, right? Yeah, nothing surprises me anymore. One goes Manchester side, one Montgomery side. So those are Waycross trains? It blows my mind that it's like the M series trains. Like I can't get used to that. Whose bright idea was that? Why, like, what did they get? What return did they get out of completely changing that system? It's not like they merged with someone and it was an integration thing. William Claire, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? We're making this meet here. We're making a meet at Coling. Or I guess we're down at Fleming now. Meet the 28J. There you go. All right, train looks good. Marker's hanging. All right, let's give it back to Otto. Hopefully he can handle this from this point. We'll call him up and we'll give him a second here to marinate. It took you a minute to get used to. Yeah, I don't understand why they did that. Because you know that was an operational headache, right? To change all that up, I don't understand the point. You either have an A or an M, both are manifest. At one time, pre-CSX, this is during Seaboard system days, they wanted to go to a total alphanumeric system, and an alpha system. I want to say they did briefly and they swapped it back. It didn't work out, right? Yeah, some of the containers are wrong, JB. On the stock intermodal cars that come with the game, they've got like 40-foot JB Hunt and Schneider and stuff like that. They're wrong. But we'll call up Otto. 803. See if he'll give us a light. All the stock cars are too short. Yeah. Thermals are either 0 cube. Units are U. Yeah, all our stuff was Q back in the day. The interesting thing back in the day is that we, like, E coal trains for us were like, now it were, at least it did mean empty, right? But E series coal trains back in the early 2000s were very, very rare for us. Like, they were always went down as the same symbol as the U or whatever, the T, the N, and came back as that too. The only time we ever saw an E was if it had an unassigned loadout, and then that eventually, like, that changed. All right, let's go ahead and start pulling on them. Bump around a little bit there. Okay, trains are B trains now. Yeah, that's like A trains or B trains. Let's start with intermodals going to the I series, and locals went to L, and bulk trains went to B. Why? I don't understand why. I don't understand why. It's not like they integrated. Who just got the bright idea one day to do that? Let's change everything up. I don't like these symbols anymore. Screw all our systems being like coded for that. The entire system runs off these this old setup. Let's just completely change it. I think the I was because of Harrison's crew, right? Cloud's running CSX. Do they even have any railroaders running the company, or like, are they just business people, right? Also, I've been wondering why the intermodal stuff in Run 8 is, or the intermodal stuff is so shit in Run 8. Well, I think it's a lot of the stock stuff. The stock stuff was just a holdover just to get the game going, because they had to do so much stuff, right? Like, it was all from scratch. There must be a limitation. It prevents RT. Yeah, there is. The way the physics are done in game, there is I think there is a limitation as far as articulated stuff. I think that had been discussed before. It wasn't completely out of the question, but it was going to take a major, like, maybe rewrite of the physics or something to get articulated wheel sets in or something like that. There's an Atlanta chief dispatcher that's younger than me and has no railroad experience. Really? You got to be a chief with no, like, I think any dispatcher, anyone in that position should be, like, have railroad experience. Whoever it was, college educated. Yeah. Same here, dude. I'm 27 as well. Yeah, our dispatchers were pretty good back in the day. We had this one female dispatcher who was real good. Her name was Miss Rhonda. That's what we always called her, Miss Rhonda. She was real good. She knew the railroad. And then we had this young girl that came on later. I don't know what her background was, but, like, she got on the radio one night and kind of blessed us out because we were taking so long to get from point A to point B. And we're like, well, if you knew anything, you would know we're going up our ruling grade at like 10 miles an hour. That's why it's taking us an hour to get from point A to point B, but she didn't know that. Like, she had no clue, so... Yeah, well, looks like it's 55 mile an hour railroad again. We shouldn't have anything else to meet or do other than just run it off the end. You can look back and say you did that. What did you do, Darren? Did you dispatch? Not enough dispatchers for too much territory. Oh yeah, it's the same way. Aquaspire, what's up, dude? This is happy to catch a stream for once. What's going on, man? Hope you had a good Christmas. We're doing good here. We're about to finish the trip up, unfortunately, but I just wanted to do something real quick. Sorry, I got a bad habit of eating that ice. I need to stop that. Yeah, it was the same way for us. They had one dispatcher had like multiple pieces of territory. All right, back downhill. 1% down. There's a lot of up and down on this route. I'm really surprised by that. Now it's back up. Hey, Jacko, what's up, dude? This is happy holidays, y'all. Yeah, I hope you had a good Christmas, man. We're doing good here. Oops. Had two meets back to back. Bet one at one siding, went down to the next siding, bet another one. 1% back up. You can always watch the VOD. Yes, you can, Aqua. Yes, you can. Absolutely. And we are streaming on X and Twitch as well, too. At least I hope it's working. It was working earlier. I just kind of let it do its thing, right? Like, we changed everything up big time for this stream, so we're on X and Twitch, and I've got all the chats are aggregated into one. Easier to keep up with now. Hopefully, if everything's working out the way it's supposed to. I don't know. It's been a good trip, though. It's been a fun one. I've enjoyed it. It's a good route. It is. It's definitely a good route. Wow, we got a 50-mile-an-hour reduction here. I think there's it's like a 30 through Tuscaloosa, right? I just don't know. I'm so unfamiliar with this route. I don't know how to anticipate anything. Like, I think there's a grade going into Tuscaloosa, and that could probably slow us up for that 50, but I'm just like, I'm not 100% sure on that. But we were 1% down. Now it's kind of slacked off a little bit. It looks like it's starting to bottom out and go back up. Track profile would be nice. Yeah, they have a profile in the documents. I'm just too lazy to pull it up. It's kind of a low res. I mean, I won't say low res. Not low res. It's just, it's very condensed, right? Like, it's a lot. It's kind of difficult to figure out like exactly where you're at. Like, you have to kind of look at it and study it a little bit. Spur, I hope you all and Little Spurs had a great Christmas. Yes, I think everyone's on the mid 901. Like I said, it was like a pest tent up in here for a while. Everyone was sick. Everyone was sick. Whatever that weird bug was that was going around, it wrecked everyone. Okay, now it's 1% back up, so I guess I'm right on that. Other Slug, what's up? How you doing? We're about to roll into Tuscaloosa here. And she's wanting to go, even though it's 1.2% up. Because our bottom's pushing us. So far, we've had a good trip. We've kept her upright and we haven't got a knuckle. You can't beat that. It's a good day. I still think we have another speed reduction coming up. I could be wrong. How about just came across someone actually playing something great. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, I love Run 8. I play it from time to time. It's a variety channel, right? So I do a lot of different things on here. It's not just Run 8. It's not like exclusive. I can't exclusively play any one game. It would drive me crazy. Yeah, I know there's a lot of channels that do that, but I guess I just can't do it. But I do enjoy it. We've been playing it a lot here lately, and we'll keep playing it.
Norfolk Southern detected. Milestone. 9, 2.
Actually, I've been playing off stream. I've been playing who's seen Marvel Rivals? I've been playing that a ton with my middle daughter. She really likes to play that movie. So we've been playing it together. It's actually a really fun game. It's I will put that on this channel because it's such a different type of game, right? Like it's FPS, but it's a lot of fun. We've really enjoyed it. All right, so we got the 50 and 0.1 miles. I could have swore there was a 30 up here somewhere or something. Maybe it's just a 50. Either way we dragging up this hill, it ain't gonna be a problem. Another nice area. I tell you now, man, I keep saying it. I feel like a skybox would change, a nice sky would change the look of this game so much. I can't stand players that only use wide cabs. I'm like, there's more to railroading than Gevo. Yeah, that's true. I wish we had more non-wide cab stuff. I wish we had some SD50s, SD60s. I go back and forth. I've done a lot of stuff on here without wide cabs. Like we run traditional stuff. We may even try something long hood forward on the NS. Do a throwback to the 80s and 90s. Feels like top of the grade up here. About right up there. It does something. It may not top out, but it at least lessens a little bit up there. This is 0.7. Yeah, it's starting to flatten out. Runny, what's up, dude? Is this a new map? Yes, this is the AGS South for Run 8. They just released it when the other week. Chase, what's going on, dude? The OG. Chase the OG. You have a good Christmas, man. I hope you did. Wide for roads, standard for locals. Yeah, I'm the same way. I couldn't imagine working a local with a wide cab. That would suck like no damn tomorrow. Especially when you got a single wide cab, having to run that thing long hood forward. First wide cab American unit most don't know is it the DDA 40X. That is cool. I like those. I wish they would finish out the UP between Riverside and wherever it goes in LA that is blanked out, so you could run that route. I think that would be cool. All right, we got a 40 and 1.9. I guess that's through Talladega, right? No, we got another meet. Yeah, we're meeting in Talladega. What are we running on? I drew a blank for a second. I was like, uh-oh. I don't remember what the last signal was. We're running on a clear, though, so we're good. We had someone spawn on us. I didn't even see that spawn.
Norfolk Southern detected. Milestone. 9, 2, 5, 1, no defense. Total axle 6, 5, 0, only 12%.
Yeah, I definitely need to get the profile out. That would help so much. Help you anticipate this stuff a lot more. We got to clear. Yeah, we still got a ways to go before we get around to the siding there. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. We're just going to kind of just ease along. You prefer running long hood forward on a wide cab, also standard cabs for the sake of safety and better viewing distance. But there's so says I grew up watching Alcos running everywhere, so old stuff is my jam. Yeah, I'm the same way. I remember seeing Alcos, U-36B, like a lot of old U-boats, U-25s, U-30Cs, U-30Bs, that stuff. Damn Zone, Run 8 and the AGS as well, dude. Yard work. Where are you working out of? She's going to get a little fast on us now. Let's start reining her back in here. Really don't want to touch the air if I don't have to. He has the high potential for stuck brakes. And she's pushing the hell out of us down that hill too. Now we got the 30. Is the 30 going in the hole? Like, is that the turnout speed for the siding, or is that... Told you, running by the seat of our pants. I really have no clue. Is Run 8 multiplayer? Run 8 is multiplayer, Mrs. Spur. Absolutely is. The CSX timetables not. This isn't. Okay, yeah, CSX did not. You're right. CSX timetables did not, at least back in the day. I only ever, like, when I worked for the railroad, I only ever saw one profile, believe it or not. And it was hand drawn. One of the engineers had a hand drawn profile. I think they were passing around, like they were making copies and passing it around for new hires. Like we didn't have anything official that I remember. Oh, you're working a yard at Norris. That's cool. Yeah, fits without a profile is tough. You're right about that, dude. Fits is no joke. It's one of the more, I would say it's one of the more challenging routes to run in game. All right, we got 30 and 2 and then 25. All right, 25 must be our, I think that's the turnout speed going in the hole. It's kind of got me confused up here. All right, got an approach diversion coming up. I love any kind of railroading sim brings out real life railroaders. Yeah, there's a ton, dude. I've had a ton of real life railroaders in the stream over the past few streams. Guys from CSX and CN and BNSF and NS. Had some NS guys watching. Now it's back up, 1% back up. Man, this route is no joke too. I'm telling you, it's comparable to the fits. It may not be as extreme, but it's definitely comparable to the fits. We're just gonna ride with it. You work with PC and Conrail. That's cool. Penn Central and Conrail. That's way cool. I always said that what little bit of railroading I did was 20 years too late. I always wanted to be one of those pre-82 guys. Right? the last good agreement. That's all the old heads I knew that were like railroaded back in the 70s. I never heard a single one complain about railroading in the 70s. Right? Never a single one. Oh man, we went back up fast again here. We got this 25. Spur was not paying attention. We'll have to grab some air now. And we got the approach. We got all kind of stuff going on here, guys. That's a nice depot. I didn't point that out last time, but that's a really cool depot there. I hate just getting a minimum too. That's guaranteed damn stuck brakes for sure. Guaranteed on this train. She has a high potential for stuck brakes. It takes, she's so long at 9,700 feet. It takes so freaking long for the brakes to set up on the bottom. Like, it takes forever. All right, let's come out. Let's drag her a little bit. Go run a full link cage pass all the way from San Bernardino. Needles Seligman talk about brutal running in a 16-hour run. Yeah, it is. The only thing is, like, on that, it's like, it's a lot of like putting it in number 8 and just letting it sit for a while, right? Oh, that's a level crossing. Never mind. Drag her with the brakes on. We'll just watch amps. Should be fine. All right, so they're putting us in a hole to make this meet up here. We got to stop up there. I don't think we're going to fit. Are we going to fit here? Yeah, we will, just barely. We'll fit about a few hundred feet. A lot of ruling grays on Cajon Pass. Yeah, there is. Goff's Hill. I hate Goff's Hill. This is one that I really don't. I don't like Ash Hill. Goff's Hill. I did a series a while back where we ran the entire Needles. I haven't done anything going up Cajon, but we ran the entire Needles. All right, so it looks like it's 25 mile an hour side. We'll just ease up here and give this guy time to get in. Used to count cars in the yard. My best times in life were with the CR. With Conrail, really? You like Conrail? I like watching Mike Bednar's videos from the Northeast. Like, I never knew much about Northeast railroading. I didn't know much about Conrail and Lehigh and all that stuff in Central. But like watching those videos with him narrating, like, really got me into that stuff. The Alcos I grew up with watching were the Lehigh Valley. Okay, yeah, that sounds exactly like Mike's videos that I watch. He captured some good stuff from back in the day. That's the kind of stuff I like. When you played Run 8, I was qualified to run the full length plus take Gevos and do local switching with them. Oh, are you talking about on Cajon and Needles? Nowadays NS operates everything. Yeah, everything's been like condensed down to a handful. There's our guy. We're going to take a peek at our brakes in a second. Like, technically we should have no clue what's going on with our brakes back there, but we'll kind of cheat and see what they're doing. They're still hanging on the bottom. They're still releasing, but they're good. At least nothing's stuck. You're from Pennsylvania. That's cool. Cajon, Needles, and Tehachapi Loop. Yeah, I like Needles. It's okay. That's like pure desert railroading. I don't really have a problem with desert railroading. I mean, this is pure tree railroading here, but I really wish they'd done the Needles when it was D251 territory. I think it would have been a lot more interesting to run and a lot more challenging to run when it was D251 as opposed to double main CTC. All right, this looks like a Chattanooga bound train. Retired from Enola. That's cool. Alright, we'll keep easing up here. I gotta figure out what my next trip's going to be. Maybe we'll run back the other direction sometime. Try it out the other way. I haven't run northbound on this route yet. I think those Mike Bednar videos I watch, I think he's got some video from Enola like way back in the day, like in the 70s. I think today's generation will never understand hard railroading. Yeah, it's completely different now. Gotta bounce. We'll catch you all later. See you on Discord. All right, GRE. We'll catch you later, man. Have a good rest of your day. Just cannot communicate effectively today for some reason, guys. I don't know why. Oh, he's got some DPU on the bottom, man. Oh, we got light too. We got light out of here. Nice. My kind of meat. Yeah, railroading, even when I did, seemed like it was a lot more. I used to think it was kind of nitpicky back in the day, but now, like, compared to now, it seems a lot more relaxed even back then. Like, we didn't have switch sheets and, like, didn't have to log all that stuff and didn't have to do a lot of things. You were working when Hope Yards didn't even have retarders. Really, they weren't even invented yet. Had to ride it down. Had to get that dude's riding it on the handbrake. All right, let's drag her out of here. 25 out of the siding. Diversion clear. I wonder what they did with the drainage ditches on this route in the water, standing water. I know there's a lake over there too, but brake retarders were only invented in 75. Everyone thinks they were around in the 60s. Nope. That is cool. Yeah, I thought they were a little earlier than that. I thought they were around when they built they built Waycross in 72 or 73. I'm not sure when they finished it though. It may have been about 75 when they finished it. It's back during that time when everyone was building state-of-the-art hump yards. I think Barstow was built about the same time. Waycross was built. I think West Colton was built about the same time. So better count that off. I've seen pictures of when they were building Waycross. It's really cool seeing them grade the bowl. All right, so next stop's going to be Powers. Yeah, it's almost the end of the line. That was another good meet. We need some old school KCS stuff in the game. We need some KCS GP42s. Those would be nice to have. Pennsylvania was home to the Three Sisters, the world's largest double hump yards. They were known as Enola, Altoona, and Conway. They were all powerhouses when Pennsylvania owned them. Conway's gone, right? GP40-2 with a road mate and a 38. Yes, I would be all about that, dude. We need some road mates in game. Those would be nice. That's why I say that Red 8 really needs to do a GP30 for the game, because they could take those and make, they could do the road mates too, or they could do the GP30 used for the Santa Fe or the GP39s that they like. There's tons of stuff they could honestly do with a GP30 in game.
Norfolk Southern detected. Milepost 202.3 track 1.
Nice. I like that. That murky looking water there. Shoreline I applied for has quite a few of those sets. Are they XCSX? Or those were actually pretty good units. Like, they did all right. At least in my book they did. Like, every time I was on one, it did what it was supposed to. I mean, you can't complain about that. Conway is still active using the hump. Westhead Bailey Yard is modeled off of Conway. I didn't know that. You have no idea where they came from. They probably XCSX. I want to see some locomotives in game with a combined power handle too. I think that would be cool. I'm sure there's a website somewhere we can check. Railfans, or yeah, you'll know exactly, like, you'll know everything about that. You go to railroadpictures.net, it'll tell you everything. You can find them on there. That's a crazy, like, everyone expects railroaders to know everything about that stuff. I work with a bunch of old heads that literally could not tell you what kind of locomotive we were on. It was like 6-axle or 4-axle. GE or EMD. That was like the extent of it. They had no clue, didn't care, couldn't tell you what kind of horn. The only horn I ever knew of was RS5. The rest of the horns, I had no clue what they were. Like, I had zero clue. I want to say someone in the Road 8 Enhancement Discord server has a reskin for KCS GP40. That would be, yeah, KCS units would be good in game, especially now. What's up, Astro? Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you had a good Christmas. Would it be wrong if I say I want to see slugs in Run 8? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'd love to see slugs in game. Yeah, we should be clear of the siding. Good on that. Back to 55-mile-an-hour railroad. Oh yeah, man, it was great. Spent some quality time with the family. That's good. Glad to hear that, man. RCO or standard slugs? Standard slugs, dude. I don't know anything about remote control. I said my group that hired out, at least in my area, we were the last ones that weren't forced to remotes. We didn't have to go to them if we didn't want to. So I never went. I didn't go. I didn't know. I never touched a remote. Don't know anything about them. More % degree standard. Yeah, it absolutely needs to be standard. I'd love to see the Seaboard Coastline had the U36Bs and the mates and motors for added tractive effort that they use down in the Bone Valley, but you used to see them all over the railroad, especially in the 80s. I'd like to see some of those. Those would be really cool. only, interesting little fact, the mates for the Seaboard Coastline were the only slugs ever built by a major manufacturer. They were made by GE. Hell no to RCO. I already have to work those enough in real life, right? Yeah. I'm more of an old school guy, right? Like, I don't care nothing about RCO. Local Fred has RCO used on his private line. I know what they're all about. Yeah, they just started putting remotes on when I hired out, and they were tearing everything up. They were literally every day. Every day they were tearing something up. Never failed. People getting hurt.
Norfolk Southern detected. Milepost 202.3 track 1 road defect. Total actual 650.
You didn't mind it when you started, but now you hate them. Yeah, I don't blame you, dude. Do you ever get comfortable running those? MT6 slugs are my favorite because most of them are old Alco Penzi models. Really? Did they use those on hump jobs, the MT6s? Did they pair those with something and use them on hump? I just feel like if I was running remotes, I'd be on edge. Like, as much stuff as they tear up. Oh, they paired them with SD38. That's cool. Yeah, they use SD38 they use SD38-2s on the hump and boils back in the day. They had like three pair, 2 or 3 pair. No dynamics needed. Yeah, that's a lot of the rebuilt hump power that they did for Waycross didn't have dynamics. The H15s, they didn't have. Those were old SD35s that they gutted and deturboed and took the dynamics out of them, added concrete and turned them into hump sets. You don't really see railroads building like shopping like hump specific power anymore. They just take whatever they can get. If I'm working a big yard, I always feel under pressure to get shit moving. On locals, I don't mind. I find I work better because no one's watching me. Not to say I don't follow. Right? Yeah, I got you. I totally got you on that, dude. Just always have to worry about someone hiding in the bushes trying to get you for something. Enola for years used 2 U20, really 2 4-axle units to hump. I think Selkirk used U23Cs, right? Is this I guess this is a crossing, right? I missed that whistle post, or is it a greaser? That was a crossing, never mind. There's a greaser. Yeah, I still wish Run 8 would do a rent-a-wreck pack. There's a ton of stuff they could do with that. Take the SD42s, backdate them to SD40s. Conrail one time used any and everything known to man on the railroad. Right? Yeah, I remember when I hired out, I did own a job training down in Jacksonville. We had 2 guys. 2 conductors and an engineer we worked with. One of the conductor was from down around Pensacola, so like he was an ex-L&N guy, but the other conductor was from Conrail. He was like out of Buffalo, New York or somewhere up there. Best way to work remotes is to test your engines before they before your shift to see how they react and run them accordingly. Gotta say, I love the Conrail stuff. Love the blue. Yeah, I'd like to see more Conrail stuff. That's one of the cool things. When I was working, we had it like there's tons of Conrail power everywhere. I remember being on like lots of Conrail C30-7s and SD50s. Then add in all the different Rent-A-Wrecks on top of that. It was a really cool time. It was probably one of the last good times to railfan, at least in the southeast, right? There's tons of stuff you could see. We gotta be getting close to the end of the line, guys. We'll just spawn on the NA district. NA West. It's nice to see as you actually look down the rivers without the scenery ending 100 meters away. Yeah, it looks like it goes out a little further now. Roadburner, what's up, dude? Says, hey, Spur, how's it going? Hope your daughter's doing better. Yes, she is, man. Thanks for asking. Yeah, she's doing a lot better now. She's doing a lot better. She's in a hospital for like 24 hours. They let her go. They got her headache under control. At least the day after her headache got under control and everything else. There's some weird viruses going around. Everyone's getting wrecked by it, whatever it is. No one really knows what it is. It's not the flu. They figure out what happened. Yeah, it's a virus. It's a virus going around, dude. Like, it has been wrecking people big time here. I don't know. It's not COVID. Everyone's testing negative for COVID. It's not the flu. Testing negative for the flu too. But man, people like it's laying people up in the hospital and making kids really sick. Like a doctor told us the other week when we saw her, she said she's seen more kids with walking pneumonia in the past month than she's seen in her entire career. So it affects everyone different too, though. That's the crazy thing. Like my middle daughter had just a severe headache and vomiting. It never even really ran a fever. Like her fever was like 99.5 or 6. My oldest daughter had vomiting, but she ran a high fever. Hers is like 101. And my youngest daughter puked for a little bit, and she never ran much of a fever either, though, and she never had a headache. So just some weird mystery illness going around. The hospital's been full. Like, there's been tons of people in the hospital from this. Man, I need to color it. Like, my webcam's got me looking really tan. Spur is not this tan in real life. I need to adjust that. I was like, my color is on point today. Damn, like, it's really, like... Do what? I look sunburned? Yeah, I was fixing to say I do. I look, yeah. A little red, yeah. It's a color balance on it. This webcam. It's a little... It's got a little color. Look a little red, yeah. It's weird. If I leave this... It's a Logitech Brio, so it's a really good webcam. But if you leave it on auto adjustment, it like... It turns everything into a slideshow. Like, it really just does. It's like everything is a slideshow. So I have to manually adjust it. I did not do a good job manually adjusting it today. Take a peek back here. Pull that down. We don't need that mess. That's a good looking train. It's been fun. She's a little bit of a headache being so long, right? With the brakes. If they made the Northeast Corridor for Run 8, what route would you want to run? Dude, I have no clue, Roadburner. I don't know anything about the Northeast Corridor other than it's an Amtrak, like Amtrak heavy, but I don't know. I would love to see Run 8 start getting up to like, heck, even Richmond. Like have the RF&P between Richmond and Washington and start getting up the Northeast Corridor. I think that would be really cool. I think it'd be fun to do some commuter stuff. Really hope they extend this route all the way to New Orleans. It'd be neat to run across a 5-mile long bridge in New Orleans, right? Yeah, I don't know what the plans are, like eventually where they want to go with this, but I like honestly, I think either direction would be really good. Going towards Atlanta would be super cool too. I got a good hard trivia question for you all. What was the steepest railroad grade in the United States? Southern did not own it. Yeah, if it's not Saluda, I don't know. We're talking like mainline grade? All right, looks like this is going to be powers here, guys. Yeah, I don't know, Mother Slug. You might have to enlighten us on that one. I can't even begin to make a guess on that. Was it the Madison Incline? Yeah, I've heard of that. That would be a good guess. We talking cog?
Norfolk, Southern, defective. Milestone 212.7 track 1.
Washington to Boston would be super cool. Yeah, it would. He's kind of draggy through here for some reason. It's only 0.1% grade, but Mount Chunk Switchback Railroad line in Pennsylvania used to be 15.7%. Good lord. That's a steep grade. I think it'd be cool to have Hagen Switchback in Run 8. That's one. I'd like to have that, the Hagen Switchback to the line it runs. Shoot, where does that originate? It goes over to a Big Stone Gap. And then they run on NS trackage rights to Frisco on the Clinchfield, right? Emergency fan, what's up, dude? Not much here. We're about to wrap things up. We're almost done. About time to call it a day. We're going to run this thing off the end of the track. It's like a local tie down there in the hole. Yeah, I've never heard of that. I'll have to check that out. 15.7%. One of those Conrail's biggest locomotive was ST80 MAC, but what was the second biggest? I don't know on that, Mother. I don't know. That's one locomotive I've never caught back in the day, the Conrail SD80s. I saw them from time to time, but I never caught one. We're going to do an ITF stream. I really don't know. I think he just updated that, right? Have you ever done a max speed test for these locomotives? Nah, I did. I run them up to like 70, you know, depending on the line. They definitely good for 70 if you got the HPT to do it.
Norfolk, Southern, detected. Milepost. 212, press. 7, track. 1, defect. Total, actual.
SCP-45 was Conrail's second biggest. It was 70 feet long. The SC-80 MAC was 80 feet long. Yeah, I remember catching Conrail SC-70 MACs, but not the 80s. I want to say they dumped those off fairly quick, right? Like, they didn't keep them around too long, I didn't think. Thought the 70 max were 74 feet. I really don't know. I had zero clue here. They were a pain is all I know. I hated them. That's all I know. It was like the one locomotive that tore up all the time. Something was all the time going on with those things. Usually something electrical. Just seemed like it at least. I wonder what industry this is over here. Looks like they had some lumber or something back in there. Conrail Pioneer, the in-cab signal system CSS, older Conrail units boxes out front. I think the Run 8 SD40-2, the Conrail unit has that box. To start working on the Polar Express for this game, I found a good train that would work. That's what the box is now, you know, right? That's pretty cool. Does the overspeed thing simulated? Had it go off on a local once doing 60 and engine was good for 65? Yeah, I don't think so. I think the only thing you get for overspeed is down here. Like, it lights up, but it does. I don't think it actually does anything. One units for Conrail for freight had pantographs. It's not. All R says it's not. Yeah, I don't see overspeed a whole lot. Like, in the southeast routes, there's not a lot of places to overspeed. Except like down between Waycross and Jacksonville that way. All right, we gotta be getting close to the end of the line here somewhere. Paul says also knowingly you can't increase the max speed of a train, so empty coal trains for CSX are limited to 50 when they should do 60, I think. All right. Going back in the day, I think it depended on the coal hopper, right? And the bearings. I thought you could change the speed in game. We'll look at that real fast here in a second. I thought you could I thought I saw somewhere where you could change the speed around for something. You can, but only down plus. You can only go down, you can't go up. All right, there you go, guys. End of the line. Let's do something real fast. Let's do here we go. E44, that's what it was. Just looked it up. That the one to use the pantograph. All right, let's look at these. Where is that? Is that was on does it have to be an actual train, like to mess with the speed? I've honestly never done anything with that. Put some -9s on this thing. There you go. The tagger. Oh, I picked a bad spot for that. You know, I don't want to listen to all that mess. Let's delete him. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go right here. No one got time to hear that bell ringing. Override speed limit. Yeah, there you go. Yes. Oh, you can't. You're right. This is a 60-mile-an-hour railroad too, so you should be able to set it to whatever you want. Like, honestly, I would think. Yeah, you're right though. It's limited. You can't go up. You can only go down. Excuse me, sir. Are you trying to speed? Well, no, we're trying to set the speed limits to where they should be. You know, the 60-mile-an-hour coal train, empty coal train, I don't remember that. Like, it could be something I'm brain farting on as well too. I don't remember doing 60. Like, the only coal trains that we really had a lot of were these SEMX coal trains, right? The Boswick trains. I was on those a ton and I never did 60. Like, some of them we did 40. Some of them were 40-mile-an-hour trains, but they were loaded. They were loaded. Yeah, that is weird. I've heard of some of these empty coal trains doing 60 on a BNSF, but I think it definitely had something to do with the type of hoppers that they were using too, right? Like it would be, I don't even know if these Bethcons would be a 60-mile-an-hour train, to be honest. But it would be something like these auto floods for sure. I would think those would be 60-mile-an-hour. If we can do anything with them. Put a few of them down real fast. We'll look. My favorite in game is SC45-2 Conrail next time. Need to run them. Yeah, I think I just did something with one of those locomotives not that long ago, maybe. It actually depends on the hoppers. Yeah, you're not going to see a bunch of slop hoppers doing 60 mile an hour, that's for sure. I want to say I thought I remember seeing something listed about like constant contact side bearings or something like that, that they would allow them to do 60, but it definitely wasn't 60 across the board. I don't remember 60 back in the day, but I could, like I said, that could totally be just me brain farting on that. Yeah, you totally can't go up, and like it don't matter. Like that's just hard coded. Yeah, I think this should definitely be a free number, right? That you could set to whatever you want. You could set it to any range. The Great Pumpkin BNSF. Yeah, these are some of my favorites. I wish they had stuck with this. Honestly, I don't like the lightning bolt. I don't care for it at all. Yeah, these are by far my favorite. I think they definitely look the best. H2 all the way, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way. I think that was the best incarnation they did out of all of them. The cigar band, yeah. The fake bonnets were okay too. I like the fake bonnets too, but like that, the lightning bolt stuff, no. The lightning bolts too, like I don't know, it's just too generic, I guess, if that's a word, right? Like, yeah, it just doesn't do it for me. It just really does not do that. It doesn't do it for me at all. Right? Like, no one likes the lightning bolt. Let's do a comparison here. Yeah, I mean, look how much better this translates. You know? How about CSX? I like the hockey stick. Yeah, that was, out of all of them, that was like, that's my favorite. I don't like the Dark Future. I remember the first locomotive, like, they just started painting the Dark Future locomotives before I quit, and I remember getting one night, and I don't think we even knew that was a thing. I want to say my engineer and I got on that train like, what in the hell is this? Like, wish ABNSF would do some heritage units like NS and CSX. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of surprised that they haven't. We need more of the predecessor schemes for CSX in game, though, for sure. We absolutely do. We need Renorex and predecessor schemes. 1000%. CSX heritage skids are bad in my opinion. Yeah, they're not the greatest. I don't get too torqued about that stuff. I feel like they could have done better, but I mean, BNSF did heritage units. I didn't know they did anything. What did they do? I'd like to see some stealth gray units in game. Oh, ones with all the logos on them. So they just stuck something on there. They just stuck a bunch of stickers on there. How lame is that? You know what that's about, right? That's about preserving the logo for copyright issues. Like, if they don't use them for so long, don't they go back to public domain or something like that? Yeah, money. Right. Yeah, right. Isn't that how that works? Isn't that why CSX stuck like the Seaboard stick? Like they did that too. Like they stuck a Seaboard sticker or something like that. Maverick says, catch you later, Spur. Is good hanging out. All right, Maverick. I appreciate it, man. I hope you have a good day. You didn't know that? Yeah, there's something to that. There's something to those old logos that I want to say if they don't use them for so long, they go back to public domain. And so like, right? And that's why they did. I think it has to do something with copyright on that stuff. Like that's why they did it. Getting a benefit for rail fans and public image was like a side thing for them, but I really feel like the main thing was more of a corporate like identity thing. Thanks for answering my questions, Mav. Yeah, that's the cool thing. We got all kind of railroaders in here that can answer all kind of stuff, because I am by no means hardly ever 100% right on this stuff. Like, a lot of it I have forgotten, or a lot of it has changed, or a lot of it, like back in the day, things weren't the same. Like, things weren't, it was a lot more laid back, you know, on the railroad. Honestly, it was a lot more laid back. It wasn't like, you know, I said the other day, we had an intermediate signal with number plate on it. You know, for us, it was a stop and go at restricted speed. But someone chimed in the chat and said they no longer have to stop. They can just go through it. It's got to be restricted, right? Like, you can't just, you know, blow through it. But yeah, stuff changes, right? Oh, dang, I want to join the you want to join the Discord, but the link in the description is expired. Mrs. Spur threw a she threw a link up in the chat earlier. See if I can find it. Yeah, she threw a link in here somewhere. I know she did. Hey, Mrs. Spur, can you hook us up with another Discord link? Could you hook me up? Could you do me a solid? All right, Astro, Mrs. Spur is going to hook us up again. Gonna do us a solid. I remember pulling off the engine labels and mixing the weather units and the rail fans. Like, did I just see a GP55 but look like a GP9? There you go. And that should, in fact, work. If not, blame Mrs. Spur. I tell everyone, I'm not a Discord guy. I'll try getting back in there more since more people are interested. It's been really quiet in there. I haven't been in there forever because, like I said, I just don't know how to fully utilize it, right? But at least at a minimum, you guys can get in there and share stuff. That sort of thing. Maybe we can get some multiplayer stuff going. These signals real quick. NS style signal. Very cool. All right, that was a good trip, guys. I enjoyed it. That wasn't bad at all. Check this guy out real fast. We'll rail fan a little bit before we go. Darren says, okay, Spur, we're going to start looking for supper. All right, man, I appreciate that. Thanks for joining in, Darren, and thanks again for the membership. I really do appreciate that. Darren's the OG. This is the OG chat. And Darren is the OG membership. Remember number 1. It all started with 1. All right, this is a 1:30. I guess this is like a Chattanooga bound train. I'll be honest, a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I'm not a huge fan of the UP units, the flag. They're all right. I like the traditional Uncle Pete. Yeah, they're okay. What else we got going on out here? What happened to our other train? Oh man, he's done yarded. Game needs a scale test car. That would be cool. Unfortunately, we don't have any scales. Go down here to go to Norris. Oh, there he is. The 74G. This is a different guy. I think this is the dude off the NA, right? Where's he at? Where's 74G at? I don't even know. I get lost at this yard. Like, oh, here he is. Oh, he's a coal train. That's cool. This is a guy out of Sheffield. Man, I can't hit the right button to save my life. 901 says, good evening, y'all. Have a terrific weekend. All right, 901, I appreciate you, man. You have a good weekend, too. We'll catch you next week. We're going to watch this guy by real fast, and then we're going to call it. You got to see about dinner, too. Spur's about hungry. All right, there you go. 74G. I don't know where this guy goes. Of course, he's tagged as none. Nice. Coltrane. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this one. Hope y'all enjoyed. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe. If you came in late, be sure to catch the VOD. That will be available. And y'all have a great rest of your weekend. There goes NS just making up numbers again. Right? Oh, man. It's the NS, right? All right. Y'all have a great weekend. We'll catch you next week. Take care. Peace.